Everybody, and welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. And that's right, the Chicago Bears are the number one seed in the NFC. We went into Philly, we dominated, and now we go into Lambeau, kings of the NFC. Can we hold on? Let's talk about it right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Hell yeah, and that's going to start this year as Caleb Williams goes for 2 in a row in Lambeau. How we doing, boys? Everyone's got to be fired up today.
FGB. Let's get it.
It's like Ben Johnson grew up so fast. He was such a young man there.
Right?
Yeah, no, he looks completely different. He looks like the president, but like on a hyper speed. It's crazy.
Oh man, you know what? I gotta say, just to top this off, man. Before we get too far, and I'm sure you guys want to share some feelings too, man. But you know, we all had this dream, and it looks like in less than 12 months, this guy's flipped this franchise on its ear. Dan Rochar has gotten the most out of the offensive line, turned him into the best in football. When I watched in Philly, I was with my buddy Keith, man, and he looked at me at the end of that game and goes, "Sean, you're glowing." I didn't even know what to say. I told him, Keith, right now I am so impressed, and a big part of me is actually kind of shocked. But just to have the play calling that was in the game, the play calling that was at a high technical level, and it was pulled off masterfully by the offensive line, by the wide receivers, by the tight ends, by an entire offensive unit. It was like – I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt, but I'm still in shock. And yes, we're relentless, Mikey. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. It's gonna may spark something. I don't give a shit. But Jalen Carter was ragged out by the guy that everyone said he should have been picked instead of. It was awesome to watch. I was happy watching it, and I hope that happens again in Green Bay to whoever's on that side of the line for them.
Well, they moved Micah Parsons around a lot, so hopefully it can be Micah Parsons a few times. He definitely threw him. Yeah, I mean, Darnell Wright's been awesome all year, guys. I mean, and that's a big part of this whole – you showed Dan Rochar, right? I wasn't really looking, but, like, that is the biggest thing, right?
Oh,
Ben
yeah.
Johnson and this offensive line. The things that have improved and made this team a winning team, and those are the things that showed on Friday against the Eagles, man. They completely dominated at the line of scrimmage. They bullied the Eagles. That's what was – most impressive about it to me, and I think to most people, is that the offensive line and the defensive line dominated the lines of scrimmage. Saquon Barkley did not get off. You asked before our show before the game on Friday, did I think he was going to get 80 yards, Saquon? And I thought he would. Just the way this Bears defense had been giving up against the run, and they stepped up in a major way. You're seeing it in the chat, and this is the biggest thing I think right now, and I think it's a thing Bears fans got to get away from. We're not frauds, and like we never have been. The Bears never have been. If the Bears are frauds, then everybody in the league is a fraud. This whole season has been weird. There's something magical happening with this team. Ben Johnson is the engine that is pushing that, and I'm really fucking excited to see what they do going forward. I didn't pick them to win that game. I didn't expect them to. And it wasn't because I don't have faith in this Bears team. It was because they're on the road on a short week in Philadelphia against the defending Super Bowl champs. But the Eagles have been not themselves, not the Eagles that we came to know either. And we kind of ignored that. So I think it's time to accept what this Bears team is and get really fucking excited about it. Right?
Oh, my God.
Mikey, you did. I know you did.
Hey, and you know what, Mikey? I'm giving you the 2 takeaways. You called them, even though you said 2 fumbles. I give you the interception and the fumble. I give you 2 weeks in a row calling the ball, Mikey. Good job. We're gonna ring.
Give True Pilgrim his credit too, because he was saying it for weeks leading up to that the Eagles were not as good as people thought, and he was right.
Yeah, they're
True Pilgrim was in the bare minimum telling us that
they're
3
gonna
weeks ago.
the Eagles will still be the team to get through. I think at the end of the season. I listen. I want to say this. I think
A lot of time left in this
we're
season. That's for
talking
sure.
about Dan Roshar, and I think at that offensive line, guys. I mean, I was texting you before that game started. It really is the difference. It's immaculate. They can plug anybody. We went from not knowing who our left tackle was going to be to whoever Dan and Ben decide to plug in at whatever position is going to work, because that's just the cohesive unit that we have now. This team, I personally believe that it goes through Joe Tooney, as good as Darnell Wright's been. I think that's the anchor. That's your captain. I think as long as that guy's doing his job, everybody else's life is easier, and it's starting to show that Dan Rocher, guys, we watched an offensive line in this city for so long that just never looked like a line. It looked like 5 individuals. Always. This is the first time, and I can't even tell you how long where I've seen a professional offensive line play for the Bears. But I want to focus on the coaching in general, because I think at every level we're seeing the fruits of our labor here. Like, you hired a good staff, and this is what you get. You've got Al Harris, who's made magic out of Nashawn Wright, and I think that Byard's been a better player too. You've got Roshar, who's made the impact he has on the offensive line. Bieniemy, I mean, look at Manangai, man. Is he the
Yeah,
same
I
guy?
saw that coming. I saw that
I
coming.
mean,
I'm just gonna say it. I
this
saw that
coaching
coming.
staff,
The
is
enemy has been on Manungai's ass all year, and it's proven
yeah,
really,
and he
really
plays like it, right?
fruitful.
And
Yep.
and and
Yep.
and I think this coaching staff, top to bottom, guys, has really made an impact. And I talked about this a lot in the offseason, the player development. But I think when people hear that, they're thinking the rookies, the young guys, the newcomers, sophomores. They're developing players who have been on this roster for years. They're getting more out of players that have been in the league for years. And that's what coaches do, man. And I want to say this. I'm not throwing shade at anyone. Somebody put in the chat last week, this is not sustainable. The Bears are false. They're phony. It's not real. It's a flash in the pan. Is you can't call something non-sustainable that's gone for 9 weeks. That doesn't. You can't average 2.5 takeaways per game on a fluke, and you can't do it only taking the ball away from bad teams. The Bears' ability to take the ball away is better than any team's ability to protect it, and that's going to be the case moving forward. I really believe that. Nashawn Wright is an impact player, but more so a starter on this football team.
And then we talked about that
Like
last week,
Dustin
Brandon.
said Sunday, I don't know where Stevenson ever finds room to come back. I really don't.
We talked about it. I mean, you can't take these turnovers out of this lineup. You just can't.
And he took the ball out of. He took the ball directly out of the hands of one of the strongest quarterbacks I think the strongest quarterback in NFL history via the bench. I believe he benched the most.
What's up, James?
But this is sustainable, guys. This is
say what's up to the chat real quick, Brennan. We got James in the house, Flex in the house, Romy's in the house, Vizzo Joe, True Pilgrim, Relentless Mikey, Flex Diggs, Ted is a boss.
Ted is like a boss.
Breaking news, Bruce. As always, guys, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. Scott Angel.
Phil.
Man,
Did you say Phil? Did you say Phil? Yeah, we got Phil in here too. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. Hit that like.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Throw that shit in the chat. We'll talk about it later, guys.
If Brandon ever shuts up, we'll get to it.
This team, though, there is no Caleb's completion percentage will lose against. I want to kill this now, here and now. No, they'll lose against bad teams, or they can't do this. This is the Bears, guys. This is who they are. This is who they've been. It's who they're going to be, and it's how they're going to win football games. And as long as that offensive line is the way it is, and the Bears take the ball away, they're going to win football games. They can beat anybody. They can beat the Packers. They can beat the Lions. They can beat whoever's on their schedule, because this is their style of play, and it's winning football games, and it's not going to change. And the Bears didn't even have to get it in the fourth quarter in this football game, because they had already won.
Dominated that fucking
They
game,
just
Kyle.
held a lead. So now they're finding different ways to win. They played the best team they've played all year, and there was no clawing and scratching for the finish line. They just put it away. So the team's getting better in all facets. And I thought the special teams played a solid game of football too, because to Nick's point, they were obviously the worst unit on this team. I thought that Duvernay impresses me, man. The guy just doesn't. He was surrounded by black jerseys. He doesn't ever drop the ball. But yeah, guys, I think it's important for Bears fans to understand, like, it's not going to get to the point that you want it to. It's not going to be pretty, not even in the playoffs. But they're going to win football games.
James was at
and
the
that's
game.
okay.
James I'm sure you had a blast. I'm sure you walked out feeling pretty happy. And he says, I wish I could have shown you guys the pictures of myself in the middle of hundreds of Eagles fans. Everyone was insulting me. I was still so happy for the win. Thanks for being
really
there and
milk it.
representing.
But-
Kyle, what you got, man?
Real quick, guys. I want to say this. We talked about Caleb's. I texted you guys probably like 4 weeks ago during a game. We talked about Caleb's completion percentage and the inability to win football games against good football teams. I think Caleb's going to continue to throw a low completion percentage, and the Bears are going to continue to win football games.
Thanks,
Well, first and foremost, obviously the most important win for the Bears this season, the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending Super Bowl champions. I understand that the Philadelphia Eagles are not playing like they normally play, but they still are a good football team with a damn good defense. And you went into their house.
You got the chat, Sean? You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Kyle. Go ahead.
On top of that, guys, I think it's time to give a tip of the hat to Ryan Poles, and a lot of people are Ryan Poles haters out there. He built this offensive line. This offensive line is the reason the Chicago Bears won the game on Friday.
Yeah,
they absolutely dominated one of the best defensive lines in all of football with Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, a bunch of other studs playing behind them at linebacker. Chicago Bears were physical the Eagles on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They dominated this football game. I said before the game, obviously, I thought DeAndre Swift would be the player of the game. I did not predict that DeAndre Swift and Common Guy would rush for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's not something I saw coming. But at the end of the day, guys, it doesn't really matter who's the star of the show week in, week out. What matters is the Bears are finding a way to win football games, and they're putting together damn good game plans, and that's all credit to Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, obviously. Another 2 guys that Ryan Poles got here had a big part in getting here. This team is starting to come along. You're starting to see a lot of the depth. We were worried about the depth beginning of the season. Guys like DeMarco Jackson, Ogbong, Bemidja, these guys are starting to step up. You see that with the secondary guys like Nashawn Wright, guys they're picking off. People's practice squads are stepping up. This is a complete team. The Bears are one of the best teams in the NFC. This is a legit win. This puts them in a different echelon in the NFL. They are one of the best teams in the NFC, and they're going to make the playoffs. And then nobody's going to want to play them, guys. If their offensive line can continue to dominate like it did against the Eagles on Friday, this team can beat anybody in the NFL. Anybody.
Ben Johnson is cooking. We got Ted is like a boss in here.
Focus.
He's definitely cooking.
Yeah,
and
man.
You want to know who else is cooking?
Grease.
As he said, and I look into all these stupid statistics and shit, but this is kind of very important when you look at the evolution of this Bears team from where they were the first 7 weeks to where they've been over the past few weeks. Over the first 7 weeks, 9.1 penalties per game. They were surrendering 18 automatic first downs via penalties, a 10 count versus opponents in key categories through the first 7, now averaging 5.4 penalties per game. And over the last 5 weeks have surrendered 8 automatic first downs via penalty. This is just another
Erica.
Just let the time go and let it manifest and let them get better. And when it comes to the offensive line, I remember listening to Olin Kreutz at the beginning of the year saying, guys, just continue to wait and watch. This line will become more cohesive. It takes tons of reps for them to become a cohesive unit. And if yesterday or Friday, was the coming out party of how good this line is going to be moving forward, dude, fuck Green Bay. You guys are going to get smashed on that field in Lambeau next week. Because
I like this question from Romy, Sean, and I like what you just said. But I like this question from Romy because we're talking about this offensive line. And you were just talking about things that have been improved when the Bears are focused on it. And I want to get into that. But yeah, this question right here, Ben or Poles picked that old line. I think Ben Johnson came in and said, I need pass protectors to run my offense. And they went and targeted some of the best pass protecting offensive linemen.
Poles was connected to Tooney.
Yeah, Poles made the thing happen.
Poles drafted Darnell Wright before Ben Johnson was on the Chicago Bears.
Darnell Wright
right tackle
was already here. But I mean, the 3 additions that they made was clearly those 2 together working together.
I think the difference, Dustin, is that alone.
Cohesive unit,
2 guys both knew what they wanted.
The result's going to be. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes, like James Christo says, Ryan Poles is a fraud. Sometimes Bears go out of their way to try to make Ryan Poles look as bad as they possibly can without giving him any credit for any of the good that he's done with the Chicago Bears. I mean, first of all, guys, whether it was Ben or Ryan who got that offensive line here, Ryan got Ben here. So at the end of the day, all of it could be accredited to Ben.
Chicken or the egg conversation.
The GM of the Chicago Bears. And we talked about this many times. Ryan Poles was a very young GM when the Bears hired him. He was 36 years old. He had never been a GM in the NFL before. We said just like Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson and everybody else in the NFL needs to learn from the mistakes. But Ryan Poles has to do the same. And all I could say, guys, is if you look at this past offseason with the free agent additions, especially the interior of that offensive line, and the most recent draft with Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo, Shmar Turner, Kyle Monangai, this this is the best offseason the Chicago Bears have had in the last 20 years. And a big chunk of that has to be given credit to Ryan Poles.
No, I don't think it was like a referendum against Ryan Poles.
No, I think
the
he was
question
asking,
makes sense because
genuinely.
like you have that symmetry between the head coach and the GM
I think-
finally, right? Like that's what it really comes down to for me.
I think you hit the nail on the head the first thing you said, Dustin. I think, with the previous coaches, with the staff that Ryan Poles had, it was we need some good offensive linemen, Ryan. Go get us some offensive linemen. And then Ryan Poles did his homework and he did his best to locate and find the talent. I think what you said, Ben Johnson
It's
said,
a lot easier to
I
look for
need
something when you have a
pass.
direction. Yes, yes.
I want pass protection. I don't want a good offensive lineman. I want a fucking pass protector. Go find those. And Ryan Poles did it. So it takes
Well,
two
and you guys,
to
I'm pretty
tango.
sure after a season in
Ben
which the
Johnson has
rookie
to tell him
quarterback
what he
was sacked
wants.
68
Ryan
times,
Poles has to get it.
told that he needed an offensive lineman. Now, listen, I'm sure that Ben Johnson helped him a lot in the search for offensive lineman, but
Pass protection.
season
the-
in which
that's
the
the key.
quarterback was drafted 68 times, and you know that the future of your franchise lies on the shoulders of Gale Williams, your first overall pick, he probably thought to himself, it's probably time to put some big guys in front of him and make sure he's not getting killed every
All we're
season.
saying, Kyle, is that it's a lot
100%.
easier to look for something when you know what you're looking for. Whereas
I also
direction.
don't think they were generally just looking for pass protector.
Well, this run blocking has been amazing.
This
there's
is
also-
a run first team, and Ben Johnson is a run first guy.
They targeted.
Say that was his primary objective. I think his primary objective was solidify the line best he could, both ways, run and pass.
And their tone setter is Darnell Wright. He is
I
the
think it's
tone
kind of
setter of the offensive line, and he was here before Ben Johnson.
I think it's kind of a silly question, to be honest, because you can't. Both of those parties are a must involved. You can't. Ben Johnson needs to know what he wants. That's his job as a head coach, and Ryan Poles' job is to get it. Ben Johnson could say, "I want the 5 best pass protectors in the league." He can't do it because Ryan Poles is the guy who decides what to trade or how much to pay a guy, or even get him in the fucking building. So, like, both of them did the job that they're supposed to do in order to get the
100%.
offensive line that's here.
And when it comes down to it, though, Jonah Jackson was better known for his run blocking than his pass blocking. I mean, he's a much better run blocker. That's why I was kind of saying I think it was kind of
he was one of the higher pass blocking guards.
He's looked much better at both standing in between Darnell Wright.
I thought he ranked high in pass blocking.
He was one of the best pass blocking guards in his snaps in the last 2 years of anybody when they signed him. I remember that being said. But I mean, at the end of the day,
actually, his run blocking ranks I'm looking at him are higher. I'm just saying.
It's not a conversation.
Every year of his career, his run blocking ranks are higher than pass.
All I'm saying is that both people deserve the credit. And it's great that Ryan Poles finally has someone that can help him decide and find these players that will make this team better. I don't think he had that direction previously. So I think that's
all I was saying
positive
was
for
the
the
counterpoint to it was I think he wanted to find a good mix of both, not particularly just pass.
And they have because since, and this goes to the next thing that you were saying, Sean, that I wanted to touch on. Since they decided, like Ben Johnson came out and said, we're going to fix the run game. They had the bye going into the Commanders. The Bears have been the best running team in football, and that offensive line is the biggest part of that. The other thing, the penalties you were talking about, Sean, that Ben Johnson's been talking about that, wanting to improve that. You see what Ben Johnson puts his mind to, it gets impacted quickly on the field. You see the results. So that press conference today that he had, his film review, Sean, you pointed out that they're not happy with the passing game, and I went and watched that.
He pointed it out.
You pointed it out that he had said that. So and then I went and watched it, and it makes total sense. Everyone is lacking in this passing game right now, and he said his words were, "What we're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of that, and none of us are okay with that." Basically, right? So what that tells me, and I just want to hear you guys' thoughts on it. What I believe. He says they're going to clean it up. It's going to get cleaned up, and it's going to get cleaned up fucking quickly, like this Sunday against the Packers.
I was going to say, so far everything he said has come true. I mean, I hope so. I mean, it's been 12 weeks of inconsistency, consistently inconsistent. So if it's week 4 or week 13 weeks, if it's 14 weeks that it takes for it to be perfect, all I know is you're going to need a perfect game plan. Because as fired up as we're going to be, Green Bay is going to be fired up as well.
They're a good team.
Every A+ player has to be A+ come this week. And I believe after watching what the Bears just did in Philadelphia, that this coaching staff is going to have this team up and ready for it. I don't think in years past, I've really feared, can we beat Green Bay because of the coaching staff, more or less? We've always had the players. We've never had the offensive scheme. We've never had the intelligence in the coaching box that has made the difference. And I honestly believe that if he's not better than Matt LaFleur, he's equal to, and this is going to be a chess match on Sunday. I really do. I really believe that. And it's hard because I got a lot more experience, and I'm not knocking it, but I'm almost 50 years old. I've lived this shit a long time. And it's been many, many years where the Chicago Bears are rolling until we hit Green Bay and the nightmare starts after we play the goddamn Packers. I just feel a little bit different than I do right now.
Make sure you apply Ben Johnson's history with Green Bay to that, though.
He's 5-1 against them, and he's averaged 32 points a game as the OC at Detroit.
He's never hit the Packers brick wall. It's good to know.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's gonna. I mean, again, guys, and Kyle, I'll be interested to hear what your thoughts are on this. I mean, this Bears-Eagles game was like that statement game, right? And it was like the Bears are here.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think that was a big win. The statement game is this weekend in Lambeau.
It was the statement game up to this point. Take us seriously because we are serious and we are about our business.
CJ Gardner-Johnson even said it. Yeah. This is the game you're going to start to fucking believe in us. That's
100%. So looking forward to this game coming up on Sunday, like, do you think that the Bears will still be overlooked? Do you think that the Bears will still be undervalued and looked as this fraud team?
Yes.
I mean, they already are. They're 7-point underdogs, the Green Bay Packers. Real quick, I want to read this. I just want to read this chat. Right, Polar Knight says, "As a barber, I love this show. It's every stage of beard growth."
Have we seen Polar Knights before?
I don't know, but thanks, Polar. We appreciate it, man.
I've never seen that name before, Sean.
That's one of the greatest analogies that's ever been made about this show. Thanks for joining us.
It's like those pictures on the wall.
Thank you, Polar Knights. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
At the beginning of the show, Dustin, I believe that this win moves the Bears into a different echelon of NFL competition. I mean, you're only what you were. You can only be considered what your record says you are. It doesn't matter who the Bears played. It doesn't matter who they beat. The Bears are 93, guys. They've won 9 games. They've lost 3. And the first 2 they lost were early in the season when the Bears were still trying to put this thing together. Yep. They talked about how bad it looked in training camp. They talked about the mistakes they were still making. You guys saw the pre-snap penalties. Not to mention, they came into the season missing 3 of their best defensive players. The healthier this team gets and the more fundamentally sound this team gets, the more they buy into what Ben Johnson is preaching and they start to learn these schemes like the back of their hands, the better the Bears are going to get. And in the meantime, while they're doing it, while they're learning this stuff, they're winning games. I don't think anybody in the NFC wants to play the Chicago Bears in the playoffs, especially if that offensive line continues to play the way it plays. I mean, you guys, let's face it, they bullied the Eagles for 3 hours on Friday. They absolutely bullied them. They pushed them around. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from DeAndre Swift or Kyle Monungai, but the 4 of us could have gained some yards through some of those holes.
There were some holes that we could have walked.
That offensive line.
And you guys, my favorite thing that he did on Friday, which I hadn't seen yet, is when he kept on moving those tight ends in motion, and those tight ends kept running in between the guard and the tackle to help to get into that second round, get to the linebacker.
Go into the block with some momentum.
It just looked like a completely different team to me. It looks like Ben Johnson's starting to learn this personnel really well. He knows that running the ball is what wins football games when weather gets cold and it's windy out and snowy out. And that's exactly what the Bears did on Friday, man. They established the fact that they are a team in the NFL who they can control the line of scrimmage. They could beat anybody. And they absolutely bullied the world champions on Friday. And to me, I agree with you, Dustin. I agree with both you guys. I think to this point, that was the Bears statement game. But yeah, Sean, if they can go into Green Bay next week and beat them, everybody in the NFL is going to recognize that the Bears are one of the best teams.
And it's important that you don't lose sight of if they lose to the Packers, they're not a fake team.
Correct.
Look at what's
the Panthers just beat the Rams.
I would say it depends how you
this season has been fucking
weird.
The
parity of the NFL this year has been unmatched by any other season I've ever watched. I mean, we all thought the Rams were unbeatable, and then they lose to one of what I believe is the most mediocre teams in the NFL with a good defense, inconsistent offense, and the Carolina Panthers. And then look at the rest of the games, guys. I mean, how many people were picking up the Denver Broncos defense thinking they were going to pound the Washington Commanders into the floor?
Overtime.
I mean,
and the Commanders got screwed in that game, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
The officiating was fucking god awful in that game.
Yeah, and there was a ton of them. There was a ton of games over the weekend that we probably would have picked them the other way. Or how about the Thanksgiving games? The Kansas City Chiefs get beat by the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, this is just a season of parity. And the more we watch, the more the Bears are becoming one of the
That
most
Chiefs team
consistent teams in
sucks.
football. They're winning. They've won 9 of their last 10.
Yep. And up until this point, it was, well, they beat this team and they only beat this
Well,
team. And it's
they
like,
were missing
and
their
nobody was picking the
quarterback.
Bears to win those
Yeah.
games that they won.
And
That's what was so funny about it.
I'm glad to admit I was wrong because I picked the Eagles, and the Bears
Yep.
surprised me, and they looked
I
like
picked the
they
Eagles
looked
too.
damn good football.
3 out of
team.
4
They
of
looked
us
like
picked the
they could
Eagles,
win.
and my brother was jumped on and picked the Eagles. You know, but I brought Mila on, and Camila has brought us luck for 4 weeks in a row.
What's up, Alan? How you doing, man?
Or
Thank you
is
for
this-
joining the show.
What does Sean call her? The Oracle?
She's the
That's
Oracle.
what DJ Prophet coined that one.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dustin, I have a question. How we
What's
keep
that?
this winning streak alive if you can't bring her on the show on Sunday?
Man, I'll get it on my phone. I'll figure it out. Me and her just take a selfie real quick. We'll be there in some form, some capacity, man. We got to keep this thing going.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And again, I thought the Bears could keep it close. I just thought that Philly having that championship DNA would put it together, and the Bears will be able to hang with them, but not give them the final blow. And man, the Bears again. That's why I was kind of shocked and impressed. Like Kyle said earlier, it wasn't something that I expected to see. The Bears going into Philadelphia, playing Philadelphia's game, and beating the shit out of Philadelphia at their own game.
100%.
That was
They imposed their will.
thing from my freaking mind, dude.
It blew my mind.
If you
blew
looked
all
at
of
the
our
box,
minds
if you looked at the box score at halftime, the Bears could have been winning that game 38-3. Man, I mean, they were just beating the shit out of them in every way. Shape. I don't think the Eagles had 100 yards of offense in the first half. I
was nervous in the first half, Kyle.
Do
I
you
thought
guys
they let them hang
let me
around
just-
way too much? Yeah.
Let me ask you guys.
100%.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think that because of what happened a couple weeks ago on that tush push where they blew that dead immediately, and then Jalen Hurts ultimately ended up.
Oh, they have no
fumbling,
idea when to call him.
And then the fan base, or then the fan and the NFL were like, "You shouldn't have blown that play dead. That should have been a fumble by Jalen Hurts." Do you think that's why they let that play go so long? And
I think
Nation
they
Wright
don't
had the
know.
ability to rip that ball out of his hand.
I didn't think they
can't
let it go
see it.
that long. Watching it,
I didn't think so either. But the NFL's been pretty quick to blow those plays dead this season, man. We've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, it's something they're going to have to figure out, Kyle, or
they
they
have
are
trouble
going to have
seeing
to
it
get rid of that, to be
on that
honest, because,
play.
like, how do you officiate it? But, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to live by that sword, then you can die by it, too. And the officials are going to call it differently game to game. You got different officiating crews every game, and there's so much, it's so much discretion. It's not like it's just set in stone. Like, well, if it's this, we do this, and if it's that, we do that.
Yeah, like it's not like, oh, it's 3 seconds.
Yeah, gotta blow it dead now.
I thought
if they're still pushing, then the play is still live.
Yeah, Kyle Monga
I
has the
thought
benefit
that
of that
drive was about to light a fire underneath the Eagles. I want to say this. I think Nation Wright took the sails out of that football team.
Yeah, and Caleb Williams said that in his presser.
He tends to do that.
Yep. Caleb Williams said that in his presser. I threw a bad pass.
They were moving.
It bounced off a helmet. It got intercepted, and then Nation Wright goes and rips that ball out and gives the momentum right back.
And they were moving. They were moving the ball.
Yeah, they were already in plus territory when they got that ball. Like it felt bad until that happened.
How about
Ben Johnson called it out.
Did you guys think the Bears would be the team to stop the tush push? For all the teams,
I will say
the Bears would be the team.
That's an interesting approach.
And then the Bears ran a tush push, and they got like 5 yards.
I'll say this, and a lot of people should give props to Kayvon Thibodeau because he was the first one to come up with that off the edge. It was, again, Bears coaching staff digging into that film, showing the Bears defense. Look at what happened when Kayvon Thibodeau did it. The Eagles recovered the ball, but this was just like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but the play was blown dead.
The play was blown dead. Yeah, they did.
But again, it's not. It doesn't matter if the play was blown dead. It was the attempt and
yeah, Sean. That's what I was asking, Sean. Like, did the Bears benefit from the NFL going? You know what? I think we blew that play dead a little.
Maybe.
I think we blew that play.
I mean, they make those adjustments, but I think that Sean's pointing out the key part of it to me is that Dennis Allen and that defensive staff had that team ready. They keyed in on a lot of tendencies. They were just prepared, and they had Jalen Hurts rattled. They had that run game stymied, which I did not expect considering they have been terrible against the run all year. It's been thrown in the chat a few times, and I just want to make sure we all say it here. Dennis Allen deserves a fucking game ball for like the last few weeks, to be honest. What he has done with this completely injury riddled.
Yeah, this Frankenstein.
And I
of a
brought it up a
defense.
couple weeks ago, man, last week with Dennis Allen. Like, what if he gets a look at a head coaching position? And everybody kind of scoffed at it, but like
I don't
the
think
way
that's gonna happen.
he's got this defense performing with all these injuries and with all this adversarial shit going on, and this team is just so far behind him. They're just behind him like crazy. You remember when he got the game ball in the locker room, his speech was just as good as Ben Johnson's. Like, this guy might get looked at as a head coach just because of he is a big part of this culture shift in Chicago too. Ben Johnson gets all the credit, as he should, but Dennis Allen has been a big part of this culture shift.
I don't know if Dennis Allen will want to leave, man. He might like where he's at right now. He might feel comfortable in Chicago. I mean,
some guys like to be the boss, though,
yeah, I understand, but he might want a Super Bowl. It's getting a little bit later in his career. He might want a couple more Super Bowls.
An ESPN article called him the most intriguing assistant coach in the NFL.
I'll say this: it seems as though when you look at the wave of the NFL, it's offensive coaches that are getting hired. So
for sure.
Hopefully he doesn't go anywhere. But you know what? Maybe then that's when you elevate Al Harris. And maybe Al Harris doesn't go take a defensive coordinator job somewhere else. I think the Bears got their bases covered. And one guy you don't have to worry about is Dan Rochar either, because Dan Rochar came out of retirement to be here. I thought that was really awesome reading that the other day.
Yeah. Dennis Allen, though,
sitting down south fishing and
Ben Johnson called him up and was like, you want to come back in? Like, went to go visit him at the cabin, like those old 80s action movies.
real
come out of retirement.
You want a whiskey?
But Dennis Allen might be, Steve Spagnuolo. Like, you had your shot, it didn't work out. You found your niche as this, and that's what it is. And Spagnuolo's been in DC, I think
Spagnuolo's comfortable.
I'm just saying, like, what he's done.
Spagnuolo's going to get
crazy impressive.
Spagnuolo's going to get some head coaching opportunities as well. I think he's going to. The Giants have already said Spagnuolo is on their list, but I don't think he's going to leave. I don't think he's going to leave, man.
I was going to ask you, did he get any in the?
I would jump off that train
at this year.
Spagnuolo?
Going into the season, did he get any offers?
He got a couple interviews.
Yeah, he got interviews.
He had no offers, a couple interviews. I mean, and he's an interesting guy, but I mean, I'm just saying Dennis Allen might be in that role. Maybe Spagnuolo is just better fit for that.
I think the Giants are actually interested in Matt Nagy.
I heard that.
He was on the list as well.
The Titans are looking at Nagy and Mike McCarthy, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't like either one of those for that team.
Oh, God.
Mike McCarthy is the worst coach of football. You guys have heard me say that.
Just like Fangio, as your brother points out, Sean. Yeah, I mean, there's just some guys that get that shot.
Yeah.
For Dennis Allen, certainly with the Raiders and the Saints, was not it. So
I'm thinking about it now. DC.
All right, James. What are you trying to say?
Watching a Bears game this year, I don't think I've heard the name Declan Doyle spoken.
Oh, he's gonna get a shot.
He's gonna get a shot somewhere.
Have you guys heard anybody mention him?
He was brought up as one of those
game?
coaching candidate. I've just read articles about potential coaching candidates. I've seen Declan Doyle.
If Nagy ends up in the Giants, I take back everything I ever said about Jackson Dart. He's gonna be a failure.
What up, J2K? How you doing?
What's up, J2K?
Yeah, and I don't understand. Really quick, back to James here. I know, Kyle, you're trying to call him out. They were giving up 30 points because they had no secondary. They had Nashawn Wright. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, that's circumstantial.
You
got to look at it from a perspective. I mean, the Bears they had three of their best players back on this past Friday. Obviously, Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon only played. Yeah, and that's something else I want to talk about, guys, real quick. Let's look at the percentage of snaps that these guys played. I mean, I expect Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon probably going to play 100% of the snaps next week, right? Jalen Johnson played 61% of the snaps, and Kyler Gordon played 67% of the snaps. I think you guys all saw that Nick McLeod was the one who gave up that last touchdown to AJ Brown. I don't understand how Nick McLeod AJ Brown by himself. I think that's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But I expect this defense to play even better next week because you're going to have these studs, and they should be on the field for 100% of the game. You guys, is it possible that if they get healthy enough, that if by the time the Bears reach the playoffs, is it possible that you're talking about a top 15 defense in the NFL with Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Jalen Johnson, Gordon, CJ Gardner-Johnson? I mean, the only thing the Bears are really going to be weak at is the defensive line.
You know what's a good template for that is that Bengals team that went to the Super Bowl in 2021. I mean, Joe Burrow was kind of carrying them. That defense was bad all season. And honestly, that Rams defense was bad all season. And they both figured it out towards the end of the season and ran through the playoffs as they got players back healthy, you know. So I mean, like, that happens in the NFL, and teams can make runs, Kyle. Like, as these guys get back and get healthy. You brought up the Jalen Johnson thing, and I just thought it was really interesting how they used him. I pointed out to you guys, it seemed like on third downs is when they really wanted Jalen Johnson out there on AJ Brown, and it really seemed to work. I think you're probably looking at somewhat of a snap count again this week. I hope not, Kyle. You're saying, I don't know, about 100% of the snaps. I think they'll be limiting that as well. But I really like the way Dennis Allen was utilizing those snaps and having them on the field at the most valuable moments. I thought that was disappointing. Really smart.
And I understand that sometimes receivers move around and you get matched up on certain guys. But even without Jalen and Kyler on the field, Gardner Johnson played almost 100% of the snaps. So both him and Nashawn Wright were on the field for that AJ Brown touchdown, the slant route. Yeah. How did Nick McLeod end up on AJ Brown? How does Nick McLeod end up on AJ Brown?
Yeah, that was a problem, and you need safety help there for sure. He cannot handle AJ Brown or any of these top flight receivers in the NFL. It's just not a position you should even put him in. I agree with you 100%, Kyle.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to say leave this guy out because I think he, you know, late pickup at the trade deadline. Didn't play that much, you know, 33% of the snaps, but you saw him, Mr. Jotayan Shayanka. His name popped up. Yeah, you saw him. He doesn't fill the stat sheet, but he was creating some chaos. He was a nice rotational piece.
He's very athletic.
The team is coming together. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of Major League. It really does. From the beginning of the year where it kind of looked like a clown show and this just wasn't going to work out to how do we prove it?
And wrong? Caleb is wild thing, Sean.
Yeah.
You just got to get it under control, and we're going to take off like a fucking rocket.
Vizzo Joe says here, one of the linebackers is coming back because the Bears waived a linebacker today. And then real quick, there's a stat I want to bring up to you guys, and I'd like to just get you guys takeaways of this. And I know Brennan's going to jump all over this. So the Bears defense had 2 more takeaways on Friday against the Eagles, obviously with the Kevin Byard interception and the Nashawn Wright forced fumble. The Bears now this season are on pace for 38 takeaways and 32 sacks. They're on pace to have 6 more takeaways than they are quarterback sacks. What do you guys think about that? I mean, is that not one of the craziest stats you ever heard in your life? Usually teams that get a lot of takeaways is because of
it does feel unsustainable.
I mean, when you combine those two, that's 70 between.
Yeah, but Shador Sanders is probably going to give you the ball. Shador Sanders is probably going to give you the ball twice, maybe 3 times. I'm going to assume somewhere around there. I know, if disrespect, I'm not trying to start an argument here, but
maybe 4 or 5 times, Kyle.
Yeah, I think he's going to give you the ball quite a few times. So I mean, the Bears are going to get up to that 35, 36, 37, 38. Jordan Love's known for interceptions.
Has Sanders turned the ball over other than the fumble? I don't know. Has he thrown a pick?
I think he's got 2 interceptions.
Yeah, Jordan Love has thrown 3 interceptions on the season. I mean, he's really kind of improving in that.
But he is still throwing those balls up, and sometimes there's just
he's going to give his guys.
Christian Watson makes a big difference when you're throwing. Christian Watson makes a difference when you're throwing.
What I'm saying, guys, isn't it
not against this defense?
Isn't it dumbfounding? Isn't it dumbfounding that I mean, this is another testament to Dennis Allen. This team creates one of the least, the middle of the road in terms of quarterback pressures, but they take the ball away more than anybody else in the NFL. As a matter of fact, they have 28, and the Steelers have 22. So it's by a wide margin.
Not that close.
This team dominates takeaways. You guys know how many takeaways the Packers have on the season? Packers defense has taken the ball away 11 times to the Bears 28.
You know how many the Jets have?
2.
1.
2.
They got 1 this past Sunday, unless they got 2. A second one.
They have 2 in this. They have 2 in the season.
2 in that game. They had 2 against the Falcons. Yeah, they had none.
I looked at all of them today, and they were
none.
They were the lowest at 2.
I don't see a change. I don't see a change in trends here.
I think they did. I think they took a ball away on special teams.
Bears are going to continue to take the ball away.
I think so too, man. I think that's what they live off of. And Brandon, you pointed out, like, it looks like Nashawn and Byard are like competing on who's going to get these takeaways. Like, they are thriving off of it, and they are
Jalen
creating
Johnson wants that competition now too. I'm sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And I mean, if Kyrie gets back on the field, and I mean, Tremaine Edmonds was a guy who was taking the ball away, and he's on IR right now. I mean, this team will continue to take the ball away. They're creating these opportunities. They're not just getting lucky.
No, Byard came so far over for that.
The amount of space he covered to get that interception was insane.
And just reading
these guys are being aggressive on the ball, man.
And that was Austin Booker who created that pressure that flushed Jalen Hurts out of the pocket.
You just brought up Austin Booker. That tackle he made on Saquon
was amazing.
Oh my God!
The Bears'
he
only
just
tackle
shook
for
that
loss.
block.
The Bears' only tackle for loss on the game.
Austin
I was
Booker
gonna
is
say,
such
here, Kyle, to back up your question, the Bears had 0 sacks against the Eagles, and they dominated that football game. So is getting pressure, but not taking the.
That's what I'm saying,
quarterback
Sean. Is Dennis Allen a
good?
genius? Is he a genius? Is he like,
mean,
hey, I
here-
know
here,
you can't rush the
so
quarterback
this-
consistently, so I'm just going to disguise this defense so much that I'm going to take the ball away anyway.
Well, this was
Doesn't
one
matter.
of the things he changed. The Bears going into the week were averaging 27% blitz rate. They dialed it up to 44.1% against
they
the
blitzed
Eagles.
the hell out of.
They blitzed the hell out of them, and they still didn't get to the quarterback. So maybe just rattling the cage. And I know you guys may not be a firm believer on this, but I think if you do the same thing and you can rattle Jordan Love, I think he's going to turn the ball over. He's going to give it to you. I think he will.
He's going to turn the ball over.
So
Yeah, and you guys, real quick, J2K says the coverage system DA brought the reason for the interceptions. The New Orleans DA was top 5 in takeaways, but never had a double-digit sack guy. So,
I said that all off season, J2K.
Yeah.
This guy is he's a specialist with secondaries. He makes the best secondaries in the NFL.
well, and I'm sure
Even
Al
if he
Harris
doesn't have,
doesn't
because the best guy he ever had was Cam Jordan. I think the most sacks he ever had in a season was like 13.
But I agree with James as well. Pressure usually equals takeaways, but the Bears aren't creating a ton of pressure this season, guys.
Yeah,
They're
they
somewhere in the
usually
middle of the
aren't married.
pack, and
I
they
think
are
you hit it
taking the
on
ball
head,
away
Kyle.
more than
I think
anybody
it's-
in the NFL.
I think they disguise things well.
J2K said it right here. The coverage system that Dennis Allen has brought
just-
in.
I
Yeah,
just read
yeah.
And
I mean,
I think
it's super impressive.
it doesn't hurt. And J2K, I know you're aware of this, and we all are as Bears fans. Guys, this is one of the most talented secondaries I've ever watched in my life.
yeah.
I mean, with Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson,
What's amazing about
Rashawn
Jalen
Wright,
Johnson
Kyler
is-
Gordon, and Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker are healthy dudes. Now you have Gardner Johnson. This is just a nasty group of
Imagine them
dudes.
all being healthy for the playoffs.
What's crazy about Jalen Johnson
is
is
a
he
nasty
the
group
ball
of
just
dudes.
never goes his way. You don't even know he's on the field because you never see him on the screen.
Right, because then
nobody
people
ever
will
throws the ball
people will
his
have the
way.
nerve to call him out for not taking the ball away, and it's like, well, it
Well,
doesn't really get thrown his way.
that's why when we were having that conversation about Tyreek and Nashawn last week, I was so bullish on the fact that Nashawn needs to stay out there, because if you're not going to target Jalen Johnson, you go ahead and challenge Nashawn and he will create turnovers. You need that. You need that on the field. If they're going to stay away from Jalen, go to this guy, go over on that side of the field. If you got Nashawn Wright and Kevin Byard over there, you're going to have a real hard time too.
Yeah,
You're
we'll
gonna have
see
a real hard time.
we'll see if Stevenson practices this week. But from what I understand, this is a multiple week injury he's dealing with. So Nation Wright's going to be on the field no matter what.
Even if he's healthy, even if Tyreek is healthy, Nashawn needs to stay out there. It just is what it is at this point to me. You cannot take away
I
these
don't think you
turnovers
can
from
take
this
him off the
defense.
field.
You
really
live
don't.
and die with these turnovers as a defense, and Nashawn is your second best guy at creating them, or first, depending on how you want to look at it. So,
All right, so give us
field.
give us your players of the game, Dustin. Who's your player of the game, man?
Oh man, I mean, it's hard not to say Nashawn Wright when he pulls that fumble. It's hard not to say Kevin Byard when he grabs that interception. It's hard not to say Kyle Monunga and DeAndre Swift, but it's got to be. I mean, the offensive line got a game ball finally. They've needed one this entire season, like every other fucking game, but they finally got a game ball. And Ben Johnson said, He said two things that were I waited too long and I was wrong on Nashawn Wright. I thought Nashawn Wright should have got the game ball last week, and he got it this week. I thought Nashawn Wright was the most valuable player on the field for that Bears defense the week prior, and he was again on this past Friday. But and then the offensive line, those two things were long overdue in terms of game balls. You got to give the recognition to Nashawn and that offensive line for the impact they've had on, not just on this game, but on like multiple games leading into this thing, man. They are the unsung heroes of this team right now.
Yeah, and I have a strong feeling that Ben Johnson went back and looked at the film against the Steelers and spent all week thinking to himself, I think Nashawn Wright probably should have gotten a game ball. And I think that's a big reason. Obviously, the strip fumble is a huge reason why he got it. But I think on top of that, I think on top of that, he was like, Nashawn, this guy's been playing his ass off. This is a guy we just picked off the Vikings.
And the week prior, his former coach had died, been shot and killed. Like that was the perfect time, and he balled out. He balled out. Like Nashawn should have gotten a game ball up already, but I was happy to see him get it.
He's earned probably about 4 or 5 of them.
Brennan, so Dustin, you're going with the offensive line, I'm assuming, is their player of the game.
Yeah, the offensive line, and I'm glad they got that game ball.
Yeah, they were the most standout. I thought the reason the Bears were able to win that game is because of how dominant they were, especially like you said, Kyle. They were playing a good front. Jalen Carter's a wrecking ball. It is a hard.
Yeah, I
guy
don't
to
know how
watch.
you don't go offensive line in this
Oh,
game. It's like it's
and
got to be
and I
everybody's
thought
future.
I think it's there's a name we need to mention because we don't often do it, man. And it probably means he's just doing his job well enough. But I thought Drew Dolman looked like like an
Yeah, Sean brought that up
pro
earlier in the week.
player.
Yeah, he was dominant. He
That
has been
that
dominant
block.
for weeks.
The block on the run where he pushed Jordan Davis into the second level, and I don't know if you guys saw this. If you try to
Yeah.
find it, they're like punching each other in the. They're like trading punches. They're like swinging hands, but Dolman is just pushing Davis back, and it's funny to even see it because Drew Dolman, as big as Drew Dolman is, when he's standing next to Jordan, it looks like an infant. And the guy, he's just moving this guy back yard after yard after yard. And it looked like he was kind of hitting him. I was like, this dude is playing angry today. I thought Drew Dolman came out looking to prove a point because he knew he had his hands full with the guys he had in front of him. Those are two of the best. That might be the best tandem in the league, guys.
Sean?
Mine's gonna go to the man, dude. The guy who's putting this game plan together.
I knew you were going there.
Dan
offensive
Rochard,
line.
man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think he's receiving enough attention outside of Chicago, man. I mean, for us, we all knew here how important of a hire this was because we knew Ben Johnson tried to bring Hank Fraley with him from Detroit, and that wasn't going to work out. So this was one of the most important hires that he made. It was
You didn't like,
Especially
Chris
considering
Morgan,
who he
Sean?
replaced.
Yeah, like-
fuck.
You guys, real
Morgan
quick,
was
Sean, not
awful.
to cut you off, just so you can finish. I've never seen this. I don't know
Never
if you
seen
guys
him
have.
before. Guardian, what's
Guardian,
up?
thanks for joining the show, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
What's up, Guardian?
Do a little round of applause for Guardian here.
Yeah, no,
Bear
Sean,
down,
Dan,
go
Dan
Bears.
Rochar's the shit. Dan Rochar is the fucking man.
Finish it off.
Yeah, we don't give the coaches enough credit. I mean, I would give Ben Johnson a game ball as well. I mean, I think Dennis Allen, Dan Rochar, Ben Johnson, Al Harris all deserve game balls from the players for getting them prepared and just being out there. The staff doesn't get enough credit. The players always get the game balls. But again, I'm still amazed. I'm still stunned. I'm still shocked. I'm still impressed with what I saw. And I'm just looking to double that up on Sunday because I know that the staff's going to have this team ready. I'm just so excited for the next chapter. I'm goddamn, I'm over the moon, man. It's the new era, man. It's the new era in Chicago.
Yeah, I agree with
James. I was going to give Caleb Williams a game ball. Second half, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Caleb Williams in a second. I was gonna agree. I agree with all you guys. I think it's impossible not to give the offensive line a game ball,
Yeah, it has
especially
to be.
since because we all know that the Eagles are known for that physical interior defensive line. But a guy that gets often overlooked and had a great game. If you guys watched the tape on Friday, was Andrew Billings. Man, Andrew Billings was constantly
Grady
disrupting
Jarrett
the time of
too,
the
Kyle.
offense. Yeah, the interior of the Bears defensive line was constantly getting
Grady
in Jalen
Jarrett's really
Hurts.
come on very strong.
Both those guys, I think they're the
Hell yeah.
reason that I think those two guys are the reasons that the Eagles abandoned the run early in that game. I think those guys were getting so much pressure up the middle that the Eagles were like, hey, look, unless we start taking a dock in here or running the outside, we're not able to run up the middle because these guys just keep on getting penetration every single. And you guys by no means necessary is that Eagles interior offensive line a bad offensive line. They're one of the best in football, and guys like Chris Williams and Grady Jarrett at 33 years old and
awesome.
Andrew Billings, you don't expect these guys to come in and dominate, but they did. They were the more physical of the two units. But I'm glad you brought that up, Ernie, because I want to get your guys' overall assessment.
I was going to go
Caleb-
honorable mention for Grady Jarrett and Billings. Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad you brought them up because
Both-
they've been Grady Jarrett's been awesome for like fucking a month.
that was
now.
Grady Jarrett's best game of the season.
Super good penetrator.
No doubt about it. That was his best game of the season.
Penetration
But-
skills are elite.
Dustin, we'll start with you since you're on the top left here. Not over the season, so I don't want to get in a huge go down a path here. But what's your
Oh,
overall
fuck, Kyle.
overall assessment of?
Can
Caleb
we do
Williams?
something first? Sean, can we just talk about River Street? Because like we're over the moon. We got the Packers coming up.
Oh,
Let's just before we derail
Yes.
completely here. Let's just get
Yeah.
the River Street shit out there.
Just everybody stay calm.
yeah, 100%. Boy,
Yeah,
ladies
this
and
is a
gentlemen,
nice little breather in between. Yeah.
the biggest game of the year is upon us. The biggest game since, 2018, if you want. To me, this is the biggest game since we've played the Colts in the Super Bowl, for the love of Christ. This is so gosh darn big, and we're going to be with you this Sunday.
You
I'll
should
be
be
there.
with us.
I'll be there at noon. I think Brandon's going to be there. Kyle's going to be there. Dustin's going to try
I'll
and
be
make
there.
it. You are going to be there, Dustin?
That was
I said
amazing.
I'll be there probably at noon with you, Sean.
Brandon, shut up and let him do the
Okay.
read.
We got $3 course, $3 Miller Lights. They're going to be the tall boys for you, half off wings. We're not going to do the live podcast. We're going to keep it here at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's just going to be a lot easier because we are thinking this place is going to be absolutely packed because I was at the store today picking up groceries and I had about 15 people say bear down to me as I'm walking through the store with my Bears hat on. But we got Dan Hampton pack sucks for you. We got Lance Briggs autograph for you. We got our boy. We got our number 1 draft pick in the house, Colston Loveland. He's going to be there
that's
for you.
mine.
We got a
He
Dan
fucking
Hampton
balled out,
autograph
too.
helmet. And maybe one more surprise. I won't know until Sunday. Got to pray on the mail for this one, but it'll be huge if it makes it.
Yeah, and real quick, guys, I don't know if I've never seen this name here. But
Nope, that was about to point him out. We got another new one in the
Your
chat.
boy Laro. What's
Your
up,
boy
man?
going on, man?
Lauro, what
Fuck
up?
Green Bay.
Yeah, it's fuck Green Bay week. Hell yeah, man! Thanks for joining the show.
FGB.
I
All week.
love the Monungai thumbnail there, man. Appreciate you joining the show. Purple Jesus is in the house. Says what's up, nerds? As always.
We got a clap for our new guy or not?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
What's going on, Kyle?
Boyle, this is for you, man.
Hold on. I'm trying to get there. Long way down.
That's what she said.
Thanks for joining the show, man.
Bong.
Yeah, we're excited about this Packers game. We hope you guys can join us up at River Street Tavern. Now, to get back to the game here, guys, Dustin, we'll start with you, man. I'm not talking about the entire season because we know that's going to go down the rabbit hole here, guys. But what was your assessment of Caleb Williams on Friday against the
Kyle?
Philadelphia Eagles, man?
I thought that it was a hard game for the quarterbacks in general. I think Jalen Hurts played like shit. I think Caleb Williams played like shit. The win was a big factor in that game, and you heard Ben Johnson mention it in the presser. You heard and today, and you heard Caleb talk about it as well. The win made that thing tough. I thought Caleb operated the offense really well, and I mean Ben Johnson pointed that out today. I thought his command of the offense was super strong, and I was happy with that. The accuracy was obviously not there. But like, as I've said, and as we've talked about, it might just not. Like, he might just be a 60% passer at best, and the Bears just win because he's really good at making the throw when it counts. I expect him to improve. But in that particular game, I think it's hard to judge when you talk about the environmental factors, Kyle. I think he made the throws when he needed to make them. There were a few that were a bit head scratching. He was late on some reads and seeing his guys, the one to Rome in the end zone there. He saw him late and got the ball there late and shorted it. You know, he just wasn't, he didn't have his footwork there. So, I mean, like, I think it's a learning process with Caleb. I don't really hold that game against him, to be honest. I know if the accuracy continues to get better, this offense will only get better. But I am also happy with a lot of things he's doing. I think right now, in terms of pre-snap, Caleb is the best that we've ever seen him. I think the way he's diagnosing the defense before the play and knowing where he's going to go, that is very strong right now. And I just think this is all going to click as he gets more comfortable, man. But obviously there's something left to be desired in terms of his completion percentage. But I was pretty happy with his performance on Friday, given the circumstances, man. I got to be honest.
Brandon? Yeah, I mean, that throw to Cole was huge.
The dime that ended the game and made Eagles fans walk out.
I think it was kind of becoming the tale of two halves, to be honest. We haven't really focused on the duration in which Caleb struggles versus when he kind of lights fire, and it seems to be in the
Brandon, that
second
makes
half.
sense because Ben said the wins were much worse in the first half than they were the second.
Yeah, and depending on which side of the field.
I was just going to say,
towards,
Kyle, a single game of Caleb Williams kind of reflects who he is as a player in his entirety. Because in a game, he comes out. The first drive's always well scripted, so he plays pretty well. It kind of falls off for 2 quarters, and then he kind of comes out in the second half and looks like a different guy. And then the fourth quarter, we've got the best quarterback in the NFL, without a doubt. So, I mean, if like Dustin said time and time again, you've got to believe that Ben Johnson will figure out a way to make the fourth quarter Caleb Williams permanent Caleb Williams. But I do think, yeah, Kyle, yesterday
it takes time. 2-3
I
years.
listen. I've always defended Caleb. Yesterday, in the first half, I thought something was wrong. Beyond accuracy. The ball came out like shit. Nobody else seemed to notice this. I did hear Kirk Herbstreit say it. All of his passes have been flat. He threw that check down to Swift on the when you're looking at the bottom lower left side of the screen, that fell like 6 yards short on a check down. I was texting you guys like, does he need to come out of this game? What the hell is going on with this dude? listen, the thing that impressed me about Caleb Williams is the velocity he puts on the ball. It looks, when he's on his back foot, he kind of flips the wrist and it
Which
goes
helps
60
in the win
yards.
big time. That helps
It's
in the win.
impressive. The guy can
It's
flick his
also hurt
wrist.
by the win too.
The guy can flick his wrist and the ball goes for miles. And that's the thing that's always the Shedeur Sanders stuff. That's just when I start saying to you guys, like, there's talent you can see. It's undeniable. And that's what Caleb's always done to impress me. And the ball was coming out like a duck, man. I don't know what was going on that first second. It looked like shit.
I think it was the win, man. That's what
But I will say this: if you go back and you look at the recent performances against this Eagles defense, you look at Jared Goff and Jordan Love, respective players in our own division. I mean, they played like shit and they lost those football games. So Caleb played better than them.
Dante
And
was there. He
that's
said his tailgate tent got blown away by the win. He's saying the win was a huge factor. He
yeah.
was
I
at
mean,
the
and
game,
I
yeah.
and I didn't hear anybody else say it. Like I said, I heard Curb Street talk about it. You guys weren't really saying it, so I thought, am I crazy? Am I seeing something that, like, I just thought it didn't. Something looked off. He's been inaccurate, guys, to me, but he's always been aware. He looked like he was just not. He was out of it to me in the first half of that football game. Caleb looked like he didn't belong there, and I don't know if it was just this defense is good, and they have taken the wind out of really good players' sails. So you look at Jared Goff, who struggled against the Eagles. They lost the game. You look at Jordan Love, who turned the ball over a few times. I thought that Caleb played, like Dustin said, he played within command of the offense. Now, he didn't play hero ball. It didn't require, guys, this is different for us. The Bears didn't have Caleb running his ass off on the final drive of a game with time expiring. I mean, they dominated this football team. It's the best one they played, and it was over in the fourth, halfway through the fourth. So yeah, Caleb did exactly what Caleb needed to do to execute the offense. And if, as long as they were running the football well, he really just needed to make a throw here or there. And I thought in the second half, he kind of embraced that more. He wasn't trying to do too much. He made the throws when it counted. And the one to Cole Kmet is, I mean, this is why this guy's a fucking
Unfucking
quarterback.
believable.
That guy he was falling backwards on that throw. You're not
Well, moving to his left,
a coach would
throwing
tell a
back right.
quarterback,
One foot.
don't throw that fucking ball. Don't throw that pass.
Yeah,
You can't do it.
he was
Don't
supposed
do
to
it.
throw that ball to DeAndre Swift, but he saw Cole getting open.
Yeah,
down the
and
field
Cole
decided
blew
to
by.
take it.
Dude,
And
Cole Kmet the last 2 weeks has been a
it's
commendable
it's
fucking
important to
player
say
in
that
this
Ben
football.
Johnson said today, the passing game needs to get better and we're winning in spite of it. He also said Caleb bailed him out when he made a bad call and made a throw that made that play better than what it should have been. And he emphasized his
Caleb's
command
gonna
of
look
the
for that.
offense.
Well,
So there's gonna be some ups and downs.
let's hear from the devil's advocate himself down there.
I think it's been the same mostly. I do think there's things that have improved. Obviously, I agree with Flex Stinks here. We're winning while Caleb is still learning, and that's the best case scenario. There's going to be good. There's going to be bad. Dustin, we talked about this last night.
Yeah, we've been talking about it a lot, Sean.
Yeah, after we got through all those texts, I just started looking at the greatest quarterbacks of all time that have won multiple Super Bowls, and most of them, if you take Aaron Rodgers out of the equation,
If you take Drew Brees out as well. Drew Brees is at
Drew
the top
Brees
of
was
that list.
Drew Brees was
He won
higher.
one Super
Drew Brees
Bowl,
was
yeah.
almost 70%, but so is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is at 68 right now.
Yep.
So, but most of the quarterbacks, Troy Aikman, Brett Favre, John Elway. John Elway was 59%. But these other guys were all in between 62 and 65%. I just think the biggest difference I see right now is maybe they were a little bit more consistent with the throws, but as you just said, he's learning, and hopefully that will come. I just hope ultimately it doesn't cost the Bears, starting slow and say a playoff game, because I do think the games do start a little slow. I wasn't tremendously impressed until the Cole Kmet throw, to be honest. I thought it was a subpar day. It was 47.
Oh, let's be fair. The first drive was ruined because they turned the ball over on downs because Kyle Monangai was
that should have been another QB sneak in that situation.
Well, I honestly that play I thought was a bunch of crap. Number
And
one,
it is important, guys, and it does need to get better. It's important to note that one quarterback in the current NFL, one, throws at 70% or higher. One. So, like, the
I'm
mark
not
that
saying
people.
he has to be 70%.
No, I know, Sean.
I
I'm
would
not.
just
I'm
like
not. I'm
it
not
back
picking.
up. I
I,
would like it to go up.
I'm stating that mark is not very
Sean, real
achievable
quick,
by most players.
real quick before
It's
you
not
finish,
necessarily
and this is something we're talking about, guys, because both Caleb and Ben emphasized this in their presser. So real quick, guys, Caleb Williams' completion percentages on the season from week 1 to week 12: 60%, 63.3, 67.9, 59.5,
What's the
58.6.
average?
I went through all those, Sean.
57.7, 65.8, 58.8, 55.6, 50, 54, and 47 against the Eagles. Now, like you guys said, the Eagles game was windy, so we got to give them a pass on that one. But this is
Caleb
this is
outplayed
the
his
this is the
adversary, so-
exact quote from Ben Johnson in his presser. We got to fundamentally be correct, Johnson said. The primary receiver, when he's open, we got to make sure we hit him. And all of our pass catchers, we just harped on it today. We need to be more disciplined in our route detail. It's not where it needs to be. Our depth's not proper all the time. Our steps aren't. Everybody has a role to play to get this pass game cleaned up. It's not where it needs to be. We're winning in spite of our passing game, not because of it, and none of us are pleased with this right now. So let me ask you guys, if Ben Johnson and Caleb
Well,
go
what do
into
you
this
hear
week-
when you read that, Kyle? Are you hearing
Well,
that?
what I want
I hear that everybody.
Here's
needs
my-
to-
everybody.
here's my
Everybody has
thing.
a role to play. Was the thing that stood
Well,
out.
here's
to me.
my thing. If you guys watch the All-22, and this has been my problem with Caleb, just watch it. Watch the field of play. Watch him look past what's simple to try and make it explosive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he needs to stop
And that played in his
that,
favor
and
with
then
Komet.
this will go.
But Sean, he did throw a touchdown because of his inability to check
I
down.
understand, but listen, but you cannot repeatedly do that in a football game. Make it simple on yourself. You want second and short. You want third and short. Take what the defense.
But Ben
gives you. He
Johnson
doesn't do
really
enough steps.
encourages the big play, Sean. That's the other thing to talk about in that conversation. Ben Johnson
Ben Johnson
wants the
also
deep
in his
ball.
press
He
conference
wants
today
explosives.
isn't happy with what's happening. You can't,
and that's on everybody.
You kill drives when you look past your wide open man in the flat to try and throw a 20-yard pass when the man in the flat could possibly turn it into a 20-yard pass.
See, it's not stuff like that, man. Kyle, the throw to Rome in the end zone, and I know
That bothered me.
Caleb's platform was bad, but
he missed the chaos in the end zone wide open.
He's thrown on a worse platform. You got to make that pass, dude.
Well, I mean,
you
James,
got to make
if
that
it was
pass.
one
I
or
think
two
the wind
games,
is a big factor there.
Rome was
Brandon.
open
James,
for a while too on that play.
Games, that'd be one thing, but I just gave you the statistics. He hasn't been over 60% in the last 6 weeks. So
This is something,
and it's getting worse. 55, 50.
I don't.
54,
That stuff
47.
doesn't bother me.
Here's
so
a
much
question I
because-
have for you guys. This is why I brought this up.
well, real quick,
Caleb-
Kyle, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you get to it, but you just brought up the completion percentage and James is commenting on it, and we were talking about it last night. So I just wanted to ask this question to the panel real quick because you'll get into that. Is completion percentage overrated? When we look at the highest completion percentage guys in the NFL, you're looking at Teddy Bridgewaters and Tua Tagovailoas, and you're talking about there's Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes. Drew Brees and Patrick Mahomes were the only two people on the top 10 of that list that I saw that have won a Super Bowl. I mean,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes won multiple.
You're talking about
Like, are we putting too much
talking about
emphasis on this completion
Well,
percentage?
you know which quarterback
in
has the
today's
highest
NFL.
every year, right? Which quarterback averages the highest completion percentage every year?
Jared Goff. I think
Nope.
I think the
Lamar
completion
Jackson.
I think the completion percentage is the difference between if he gets those simple throws down, the ones he's missing, are the difference between multiple Super Bowls, like you just said, Dustin. Patrick Mahomes has the best completion percentage in the NFL. He's won multiple Super Bowls. He's a dynasty.
Well, not,
And-
he
and-
was like number 8 on that.
Lamar
list.
throws 68 in his career.
Winning one or being consistently a competitive football team. Now, let me ask you guys this. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams and Cole Kmet, all in their pressers, all said that has been the focus of this week. So should Bears fans expect, if that's what they're focused on this week, is getting the offense to be more efficient, can Bears fans expect that completion percentage to be better this Sunday against the Green Bay Packers?
I wouldn't.
Well, that's
Should,
what
I
I
wouldn't
was.
expect it
Well,
to
that's what
affect
we
the Bears
were talking
winning.
about. That's what we were talking about earlier in the show in terms of if Ben Johnson has his team focused on something, it generally gets fixed. But that goes into the question I just asked that nobody really answered. Like, is it really about completion percentage,
No,
or is it
it's
about Caleb hitting big plays and throwing some touchdowns? and
I
getting points on the board?
I think completion percentage definitely plays a role, right? I mean, you can't just say that completing 40% of your passes in your career, you're going to be one of the best quarterbacks in football. That's probably not going to happen.
That's
Sooner
not.
or
That's
later,
an
teams are
outlier,
going to
though.
adjust.
That game is way lower than
Teams
any
will
game
start.
Caleb.
Teams
I
will start to
text you
stack
guys
the
every
box
week.
and make Caleb beat them by throwing the entire
And then
game. And he said
if he beats
sometimes
them, but if he beats them, Kyle, on a deep ball for a touchdown, 1 out of 4 times, then is that math outweigh the completion percentage? Because Mason Rudolph completed like 74% of his passes against the Bears, but that offense was stagnant. You can take the dink and dunk shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good
Caleb is going to get the ball
Dylan
down
Gabriel
the
was
field.
one of the highest.
Let me ask you
Listen,
this:
I-
when do you expect if Caleb finishes the season at 59% completion percentage? When do you get to the point? And Justin, you've answered this before, but just for today's show, when do you get to the point where you go, "This is just Caleb Williams," or we got to give him another how many weeks?
I've already
Well, I
said
wouldn't
that.
expect it this year.
I've already said that this might just be who Caleb is, and Ben Johnson is finding a way to
I
work with
think
it.
you'll
And
see an
Sean sounds like
improvement
he's
week
kind of getting
one.
to that point too. Like
All right.
I think there's
He
what
could be.
I think there's what people want Caleb to be, and then there's what Caleb needs to be for this Bears team. And up to this point, Caleb has been what the Bears need him to be, what Ben Johnson needs him to be. We can want him to be perfect, but that might not ever happen. But you could still win with guys like that. You could still win.
Sean, do you think
Sean, do
you think missing these layups and his completion percentage going down? Do you think that's the difference between beating teams by 1 point or a field goal in the fourth quarter and beating teams by 20 points and the game being over in the third quarter?
It depends on the game.
Who cares? The Bears are winning.
I guess that would depend on the game and situation.
When did winning stop mattering?
Well, because Vernon, if you're using a field goal to using a fourth quarter game winning field goal to win the game and it's blocked for a la the game against the Packers at home last year, that's the difference. If you're winning by 20 points in the fourth quarter, then you don't need to kick a field goal.
Winning still matters. But when I just looked this up.
No, we're not.
When you talk about multiple time Super Bowl champions like Pat Mahomes. Now, Drew Brees only won one. Aaron Rodgers only won one. But you're talking about three of the best quarterbacks ever in history. Their career completion percentages are all 66. So
I think the number one player in the league right now.
You want to move up.
The number one player in the league right now in completion percentage is Lamar Jackson. So you guys I mean over the average of his career is 68%. Lamar Jackson. So you tell me, the guy who can't win a Super Bowl, as far as you guys tell me, how much does completion percentage mean?
As far as we've told you, he hasn't.
No, I think
so how much does it mean?
I think Joe Burrow is actually higher than Lamar, and neither one of them have won. But I mean,
Joe Burrow's at least got there.
Yeah, for sure he has. And what I don't foresee happening is that Caleb doesn't improve on this with Ben Johnson.
Week one next year,
68%.
Yeah, he's up there. So
week
he's higher than Lamar,
next year.
Jared Goff's got to be up there too, man.
I think you got to give this
6%.
I guess my point is you got to give this some time. But when it comes to the way this offense is running and what Caleb is being asked to do, I don't think completing 70% of his passes is high on that list as getting that touchdown to Cole Kmet. And I will take that instead of that. So I'm just asking you guys, do you think completion percentage is an overrated stat, or do you think that it's an indicator of winning? Because I think the stats kind of suggest that it's not.
Dustin. Let me ask you this, Dustin, because you had this conversation with me. We had it together.
Yeah, we had a conversation.
We were watching the shootout. We were texting each other. Do you feel like Caleb Williams and the Bears could be in a game like this?
I remember Dustin.
Your answer was no. So do you feel different today than you did a couple of days ago?
My answer was no in that game on Thursday, which I thought the Packers would win.
It was Thursday,
yeah, on Thursday. My answer was no, and it was because of the defense, man. That's really what it was to me. I didn't think the defense could hang in a game like that, and the offensive line and the defense really impressed the shit out of me on Friday. The way they played on Friday versus the way they've played in some other games, like against the Giants, man, against the Bengals, where they gave up all those points. It was different. Even against the Steelers. I mean, they got the takeaways in all those games that mattered, but they weren't consistent enough. On Friday, they put together 60 minutes of consistency from the offensive line and the defense. And I don't give a shit who your quarterback is. You have a chance in any game against anyone if you're playing like that and running the football that way, right? So that's going to be the key, especially for a team in Chicago who could potentially get home field advantage. So I think the completion percentage is going to be overrated for Caleb, because if you're running the football like that and your defense is getting takeaways, like Brandon said, you make those one or two big throws in a game, that's the difference to me. And I'll take that over Mason Rudolph completing 70% of his passes for 5.5 yards per attempt. I'd rather have what Caleb gives.
I text you.
Is that answering your question?
Yeah, cool point.
I text the
Nobody
same
answered my
message.
question. In fairness, so
I said, Dustin, I think the two are intertwined. I think ultimately his completion percentage does have to get better. Now, listen, I'm not saying he's got to be 70%er, but he's got to be closer to 65 than 60 for sure. For him to
I
for the
text-
Bears to be consistent playoff
I
Super Bowl
text you guys
contender. And I think
every
he does
week.
need to get more efficient. More
Eh,
efficient.
There's a reason that I chose the Eagles to lose this game and you didn't. I text you guys every week
All right, relax, bro.
that Caleb Williams threw another low completion percentage and won a football game again. Every week I send this
Caleb
text
Williams didn't win the
after
football
the
game.
game.
Let's just be clear.
Hold on.
The offensive line won the
Sean,
football
hold
game.
on. You
for the
told me
Chicago
not to
Bears.
cut you off today. Hold on, man.
You have cut me off
Every
twice.
week I
So,
text the same
come on,
thing.
guys, with the
The
emotions.
Bears are going to win a game and Caleb's going to throw a low completion percentage. They do. They win. You guys expect them to lose. And I'm going to be honest. I think that you expected them to lose off the performance of Caleb Williams. I think that you thought if Caleb throws a low completion percentage,
I
it looks
didn't.
like the inaccurate guy that he
I
looks
didn't.
like all year, that they're going to lose against teams like the Eagles. And that's just not the fucking case at all.
Yeah, but Vernon,
It's
that's
not.
that's
Thanks
easy
for,
to
you're
thanks
not
for
say.
speaking.
saying why
Hold
it
on.
is
Thanks
the
for
case.
speaking for me, but that's not why I
Yeah,
thought
well,
the Bears
plus-
were going to lose. I didn't think the defense was going to be able to hold
That
on
was
to the
my
offense,
thing. Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, plus Vernon,
And
let's-
on the road again on a
Vernon,
short
if
week.
Vernon, if you're
that
gonna
I
was
talk
kept
about-
hearing if Caleb plays this way, they won't beat good teams.
Well, Vernon, let's
I kept
talk about
hearing
it
that.
then. Let's talk
kept
about it
hearing
because the entire chat on Friday morning when we did the pregame show,
Number
and
one,
Dustin,
hold on,
wait,
Kyle.
wait,
Number
and
one, no one
and
said the
Dustin-
Bears were going to open the sea and run for 250 yards because if
all right,
they don't, they probably don't
Let
win
me
the
get to this
game.
point. Yeah, and let me get to this point real quick.
There's
The
always
entire
there's
chat-
always a
guys,
but they
relax.
did this.
Let the conversation move.
Yes, Dustin and
Gentlemen.
Sean and the chat all said on Friday before the game that Caleb had to have one of his best games of the season. And everybody in
He
the chat, when I
didn't.
hold on, and everybody in the chat when I picked DeAndre Swift to be the player of the game said, "Kyle, are you nuts? They're not running the ball on the Eagles." And then the Bears go in there and they don't need Caleb Williams to basically do anything at all except for that one
No, they
catch
don't,
throw to
Kyle.
Komet. And the Bears offensive line opens up massive holes, and the Bears run for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, Vernon, if they get to a game where they stack 8 men in the box and they don't throw a run for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, and it's windy out, can Caleb win the football game?
Yes, because they don't need the best game from Caleb, like you suggested. They need Caleb to make the throws when it counts, like
But
I
Brendan, if they're not
suggested.
scoring on the
They
run
need him to
game,
make
then
the
they do
Cole
need more
Kmet throw.
production from
That's
him.
what they
would
need.
If they're
Make
not
the
getting
Cole Kmet
250
throw.
rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, Brendan, they would need more production from Caleb Williams.
Okay,
Oh,
They
yeah,
can't
for
keep
sure,
doing
but
the same
Caleb
all
has
this
game.
is
also-
bothering me because, like, can we just say, like, it didn't go the way you said it would, and he didn't play the way you
Brendan,
thought he
I
would?
don't understand. Are you trying to like make people look
Come on.
stupid on the show? Who cares?
Well, no,
game goes the way you say
the
it's going to
three
go.
of you
Sean's
said
been
that
damn good at the
Caleb would
pregame
have to
shows this
play
year,
a
so relax.
flawless game to win,
And I think
he
that was
didn't.
a good way to surmise that game, to be honest, given the statistics going into it and the
Exactly.
situation that the Bears were in. Now we were wrong, and the Bears have proven all of us wrong
100%.
all season. So that's why I'm saying let's accept who they are, and that's fine. I think Caleb has found
I
ways
just
to
did
make
that
the
a week ago.
plays. I think I've been doing it for weeks, but they're not playing the Super Bowl, defending Super Bowl champions every week on the road on a Friday. But like that's besides the point. I think Caleb has done it in games, Kyle. To answer your question, there's been games where they've needed Caleb to put this team on his back, and he has won games for them. The cool thing about this Bears and Ben Johnson offense is that they do it any way they fucking have to. They find a way
They're starting to
every
prove
time,
that.
right?
That's for
Like,
sure.
if it needs to be running, if it needs to be
And
passing,
Caleb
if it
does
whatever
make
it
the
needs to
throws.
be, and Caleb commands that, and Caleb
And he
is in
makes
charge
the
of that.
throws when
And
it
Caleb
counts.
is the unquestioned leader of this offense to me. As far you can see it on the field, so
For
like
sure.
I'll trade the completion percentage for those other things if the Bears continue to win games.
What I'm starting to
Winning
see is
matters,
I had kind
Dustin.
of predicted with Caleb Williams being the number 1 overall pick in the draft, especially in one of the best quarterback classes we've seen. What I kind of predicted was Caleb Williams, no matter where he ended up, he was going to make that team better because of his God-given talent, and that team was winning football games. The more I watched this football team, the more I realized that Caleb Williams needs Ben Johnson to be a damn good player in the NFL and win football games. And if he didn't have a Ben Johnson, he wouldn't be all
So
that
you
great.
think Caleb's a damn good player?
I think he's been good this year. Yes. I don't think he's going to reach 4,000 yards or 30 passing touchdowns like we all projected. I don't think that's going to happen.
Who's
But
a better
he's still
fourth
winning
quarter?
football games, so it
Who's
doesn't
the
matter.
best? Who's the better fourth quarter quarterback?
I mean, there's a lot of really good fourth quarter quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, Brendan,
Who's better than Caleb this year?
You're talking about this year. I mean, first of all, Aaron
He's had
Rodgers
6
in his
game-winning
career
drives.
is the
Sorry,
best fourth
Sean,
quarter
I just
quarterback
got
in the history of football, man. He's the best in the history of football. Man. You can't take that away from him
Caleb
because
this year has
he's
6
playing at
game-winning
44
drives.
years old on the Steelers and Jets. I mean,
And I'll say this: I'm not knocking what Caleb has done, but what Kyle is saying is a very valid point that they're stacking the box, and quarters 1, 2, and 3 went the way they did, and they weren't rushing for 250 yards, and Caleb wasn't able to give you that production because he's underthrowing balls, overthrowing balls, not hitting wide open receivers, not taking what the defense gives them, then it becomes a problem.
But it didn't.
It
hasn't.
But here, you guys are saying this could never happen. This is impossible.
No, of course it could happen.
It could
I'm
never
saying
happen.
we shouldn't assume it
Brandon
will.
is definitely saying that without a doubt.
We shouldn't assume it will because it hasn't yet.
No, I listen.
Okay.
There's certain things that are not sustainable about the Bears' success if you just look at the history of the NFL, Brandon. I mean, that's just a fact. Like you say,
I don't look at the history of the NFL. I look at the history of the Bears season.
You say with all this, but there's always a regression with teams like this.
I also told you they take the ball away from the Eagles. You told me they wouldn't.
Oh, I told you that they don't turn the ball over.
What's happening with the Bears?
I said the Eagles don't turn the ball over at a high rate, and their offense is very boring and secure.
And the Bears took it away, Dustin.
And they did.
We have to confront that now.
So Bernard,
we're talking about it right now.
Did you pick the Panthers to beat the Rams? You picked the Panthers to beat the Rams. The Rams thought they would go in there and beat the shit out of them, but
no. But I don't watch the Panthers every week. I watch the Bears.
Lost them a game.
I don't look at the history of the NFL to determine what the Bears are going to do next week. I look at the Bears.
Going to regress at some point. The Bears.
This year's Bears.
Then the Bears are going to win a Super Bowl because they're going to keep taking the ball away 2.5 times per game.
The Bears absolutely have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
100%.
This entire year, this podcast has said the Bears are just not a Super Bowl winning team. They're not there. I've said against that. We shouldn't say that. We shouldn't say that yet. Let's stop saying.
Stop calling people out on the podcast. Relax, bro. Relax, dude.
I'm pretty relaxed,
bro.
Brandon,
pretty relaxed.
My point is,
Dustin asked the question: is the completion percentage important? Is completion percentage does it outweigh winning? The answer is no.
You also said about a month ago that this defense sucked and wouldn't improve. And we said when we get these players back, they wouldn't improve.
What are you guys? I don't understand. You're like trying to dig for things that I was wrong about instead of saying you called the Eagles game wrong. Caleb throws a little bit of completion percentage, and they won the game anyways. And guess what? They took the ball away from a team you told me they couldn't. So
the defense
let's maybe embrace what the Bears. The Bears are what they are. You have to embrace it.
Is that what you're fishing for, dude?
You guys are not really moving.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
This is not moving the show forward. At the end of the day, the Bears have done things that none of us expected, and they have done things that some of us have expected. That's just the reality, because this defense has gotten better. They were better in the front on Friday against the Eagles, which I didn't expect. And I'm just excited and happy about that. I don't give a shit if I was wrong. The Bears are winning football games. And I'll be wrong if the Bears win. That's fine. I don't know if I'm going to pick the Bears to win this week against the Packers yet. I really don't. It's going to be hard to pick against the Bears for the rest of this year, though, guys. It's going to be really hard to pick against the Bears.
They've played multiple quarterbacks that have a very low turnover rate this season, regardless of how good the football team was, and they took the ball away. I'm not basing what I say the Bears are going to do before an Eagles game on my bias.
What you're saying is you're going to pick the Bears to win every game.
I'm probably the most negative person on this podcast.
That's what you're doing. If you're saying you're basing your assessment off of what the Bears have done this season, and they've won 9 of the last 10, what you're saying is you're going to pick the Bears to win the Super Bowl. I mean, that if you're basing it based off of what they've done the last 10 weeks, that's the history I have to base this off of. What I'm telling you is when they get better, when they play better competition, they're going to have to be more precise and more.
Yeah, you told me that before the Eagles, man.
They're going to have to be. And the Eagles didn't play well.
That is still true.
The Eagles did not play well. They did not play a good football game.
The Eagles didn't play well, and the Bears dominated up front. You win the game.
I was probably just lucky in my prediction, guys.
The running game.
The Bears have been lucky too, guys. I mean, listen, there's a lot of luck that goes into this stuff too, and eventually that runs out.
Every team in the NFL winning 100%. Football games there's luck in somewhere inside the game. A bad call, an injured player on the other team. Like everybody has it. But yeah. I mean, I expect the Bears to face more adversity at some point this season, where they're going to be. I don't know. Maybe Drew Dahlman misses a couple weeks. Maybe Joe Tooney misses a couple weeks. Maybe the Bears. Maybe Roma Dunze and TJ Morgan hurt on the same.
But Kyle, they have faced a lot of adversity already.
Oh, for sure. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. This defense has not been healthy once this season. All I'm saying is, this season, do you see a world in which the Bears, they keep talking about, we haven't reached the pinnacle. We're not reaching our ceiling. Do you see a situation this season in which the Bears reach that pinnacle, where their offense is a well-oiled machine? They don't miss open throws. They score on almost every drive. They don't punt like the Colts didn't for the first 6 weeks of the season, where the best offensive football. Do you see a game in this season where the Bears can do that?
No, I don't think they need to be.
Yeah, if you're defining pinnacle as perfect offense, perfect passing offense, no, I don't think so. But if you're defining pinnacle as the Bears could be in the Super Bowl, yes.
Well, I mean,
think
what do you
that
think Ben
in a
Johnson?
year like this,
what
the
do you
Bears
think-
could win and win their way right into the fucking Super Bowl.
When Ben Johnson
Yes.
says we have not perfected the art yet, we haven't reached the pinnacle, we're still making mistakes, we can get better. What do you think he's talking about?
Well, I mean, obviously, you're going to strive to
Can
get
be
better
cleaner.
every week, right? And clean up the operations and make sure. And again, I do believe you asked that question earlier, and I had already talked about it, man. They are going to improve that passing game this week going into Green Bay. I 100% believe that, because I believe that what Ben Johnson focuses on, the team focuses on, and it gets fixed quickly, because that's what he has shown.
I think so.
That's what the Bears have shown us.
It is going to be, this one in particular will be a little bit heartbreaking for me as a Bears fan if they lose the game and their offense is just as inconsistent as it's been the last 10 weeks. This one will hurt because it's the Packers, guys, and we're playing with a division lead, guys.
Even then, though, Kyle, even then, like, even if they lose that game and they don't look good, I still will have a lot of faith in this team.
Well,
that they
sure,
can
I'm not
playoff
saying like,
contender and
I'm
a Super
done.
Bowl
I'm done
contender.
with the Bears. I'm done with.
I'm
the
not
Bears.
suggesting you're saying that.
You guys realize the Bears lose this game and the ball bounces the other way with a couple teams, the Bears could be out of the playoffs and then in the AC.
Yeah, I looked at that today.
The Bears.
You guys realize that, right?
I looked at that today. I can't believe if the Bears
The
lose
Bears
this
are
week,
going
they
to
could
the
be in
playoffs.
8th place, bro.
Well, Ben Johnson said today, and I agree with him. 11 wins is going to get it done. The Bears are
in the NFC.
The Bears are at
Bears are
9
winning this
right
game.
now, and
The
they're going
NFC.
to find 2 more wins. I think they're going to find at least 3.
I agree.
But they're going to at least find 2. They will at least win 11 games.
They're going to beat
and
the
they will
shit
be
out
in
of
the
that
playoffs.
Niners team.
And as you said, Kyle, ain't nobody going to want to play this Bears team in the playoffs the way they're
Hey,
playing
Dustin,
right now.
they're
Nobody.
going to get one of them this Sunday in Lambeau Field.
And they're going
All
to
right, you're already making their prediction.
And
We doing
they're going
predictions?
to do. They're going to do
The
with that.
Bears are winning in Lambeau Field, man.
They're going to do what that Niners team did to them last year. That Niners team is ass, dude. They're going to fuck that team up.
Yeah, you also said the Browns were going to beat the Niners, Brandon. So shut up.
It was close for a half there.
It was 26-8, real close.
Dude, that is the worst winning record in the NFL, without a doubt.
It's
Without
a
a doubt.
winning record.
Hey, well, let's take
And
a
they're
look
about to
at it,
lose
guys.
the quarterback
And
that
listen,
wins
here.
their games.
I
Let's
think a
take
lot
look
of
at let's take a look at the stretch
What are you
run.
talking about?
think-
That's the worst. Dude, the 49ers are a good team because they have a damn good coach.
and their
That's why they're a
defense
good
is playing
football team.
well
They're in
with
the
a
same
lot-
situation
most
as
Okay, they're a
injuries
first round
on defense
elimination.
in the NFL.
We can have this conversation later.
Well, listen, going into that San Francisco game, the Bears are traveling across country for a night game.
Not
That
gonna
is
be-
not easy. That is
Okay,
not
then,
easy.
sure.
Brandon, I'm going
Sure.
to tell you this right now. I don't give a shit how dominant the Bears were in the 80s. Go look at how they played in San Francisco. San Francisco is a house of horrors historically for the Chicago
The
Bears.
Eagles won 19 in a row at home. I don't give a shit about somebody's home. I don't.
All right, Vernon. Relax, dude.
Okay.
You are like
Well-
if somebody says if the people are like, oh, the Bears could play better, Vernon's
All
like,
right,
you
this
hate them.
analogy's too
You want
long.
them to stop being a team in the NFL because they could.
What were
get
you about to
better?
go to, Sean? The
Relax.
schedule?
I was just going to take a look, man. We got a stretch run here. Obviously, we got some important dates. This is what the NFC circle looks like at death the last 5 weeks here. And man, it's brutal for every
I don't like
single
that
team.
Lions schedule, man. Lions got it rough, dude.
The
They
Lions-
got
Cowboys-
the, they got the
Packers.
Cowboys at home this
Cow-
Thursday. That's going to be a fun ass game.
Yeah, and then they get the Rams right after that, and then they finish the
on
season
the
with the Bears.
road.
That's tough, dude. That's a tough
Yeah,
schedule
dude.
for the Lions.
Look
Man.
at the Packers. They go Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens. That's no cupcake walk either.
And listen, they're both playing the Vikings on the road. And
Yeah,
the
but
Vikings,
here's
the
the
Vikings
reason.
already beat the Lions in Detroit.
Yeah, the Bears have the best remaining schedule.
Here's the reason I think the Lions have it worse because the Lions secondary has been absolutely putrid over the last 3 weeks, and they're about to play 2 of the most offensive powerhouse, throw the ball all over the place teams in the NFL.
they're gonna
Dak
lose both those
Prescott
games.
and Matthew Stafford. I mean that's a gauntlet, man. Their secondary better play a lot better than it's been playing if they're going to beat the Cowboys and the Rams. A lot better than them.
You guys
Oh,
be
yeah.
shocked if the
They're
Lions
gonna be playing a
don't
lot
beat
better
the
than
Let's
that.
see
Rams.
the football. No?
Guys, let's just do it. Let's do it. Go to the Bears schedule again, Sean. Let's just go.
How
through
many
it.
how
We
many
got-
teams have changed their play caller mid-season and made the playoffs? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. You should have that. with
Dustin,
Andy.
Dustin, what are we doing here? We
At Packers. Are we going to go with the Bears? The Bears are 9-3 right now. They're at the Packers this week. We all know that. We got to win.
I'm going dub.
Sean's going dub. What do you got, Kyle?
God, I think I hate to say this. It makes me. I think they split with the Packers, man.
I think so
I'm
too.
gonna take the
I think
loss
they
and all-
split with the
and-
Packers as
yeah.
well. I think they split with the Packers as well. Brandon, do you think they beat the Packers this Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at a
Vernon's
draw
got win,
here.
win, 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 win.
If we're at a draw,
Without a question.
if we're at a draw, then I guess we're going win.
Which is
this
funny.
week.
I was the person that was the most skeptical of this team and this coach.
Oh God, yeah,
Yeah,
you're so
Um,
sullen and downtrodden.
yeah.
You just looked off in the distance when you said
Justin,
that.
I got a loss. I got a loss for Green Bay, but definitely win against Cleveland. For sure.
Win against Cleveland for sure. I mean, do we go with the loss then? Let's go loss at Green Bay. Win against Cleveland. That puts you at 10-4 versus the Packers at home. That's a win.
That's a win. 100%.
11-4. Now
Yep.
you're at 11 wins, week 16. At San Francisco, I'm thinking that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go loss.
I got a loss there.
Yeah, Bears are not good against tight ends or running backs who catch the ball. And you got George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey has been fucking
That's a tough
phenomenal.
Which team is better?
I'm just going to do this.
The Bears are better. The Bears are
I'm just
better.
going to say this: the Bears are
Yeah,
going to
but good teams lose on the road.
Yes,
That's what I'm
and weird
Which
things have
team's
happened.
better, the Rams or the Panthers? I mean,
Do you
what-
guys feel responsible
weird.
to find a loss on the schedule? Like it's by default, by like principle. Like the Bears cannot.
Brennan, do you feel you're necessary because you're a Bears fan that you have to pick every game to be a win?
So are the Bears?
No,
going,
I usually pick every game to be a loss.
are the Bears going 14-3?
So you got them at 14-3, Brandon?
My question was related
Yeah,
to the
Brennan
Niners
has some-
specifically.
But our
because they're a
question
worse
is the
football
same
team.
question. Just
Brennan
thrown
definitely
back
has been
at you.
14-3, guys. That's not a
What
question.
are the Bears going to win 14 games?
Not a question. He's
It's the
got.
I think
same
it's
question
possible.
thrown back.
It's very
Of
possible,
course, and
yes.
it's possible that they lose 3 more games as well.
Yeah,
Both
but you
things
just
are
told me
possible.
the Niners are okay.
The Niners are not a better team than the Bears, but
No,
they're
they're
at
not.
home.
But they're gonna win
They're
for sure.
They're at home for sure. Okay, so you got the Niners losing that game. You got the Bears winning, but I got the Lions, the Bears in a revenge game. Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
and,
I got them losing 2 more, Justin. I
that's
got
a
them losing
win.
at the Packers and at 49ers.
I got them going 3-2 down the stretch as well, Kyle. The
Yes.
exact same.
I got them.
The
Yeah,
exact same.
I'll put them at 12-5. I got the
I'm
Bears at
going to
12.
go. I'm going to go 13-4.
Sean's got him at 13-4. James Christo says the same thing. 13-4. J2K. This team is playing way too well to lose. We'll sweep the Packers. 12-5.
That's what I'm saying, baby. We're
still
sweeping
not
those
wrong.
bitches.
I think 12-5 makes a lot of sense. That's where I'm at.
Well,
as well.
J2K,
And
where's-
I picked them
where's
to
your-
win 8 games, guys.
J2K, where's your
I'm not
other
gonna lie.
loss? Hold on, guys. J2K says 12-5, so he says they're going to sweep the Packers. So where's your other loss, J2K? You got
Yeah, you're not losing to the Browns at home. Fuck that.
so you
Yeah,
got them
that's
losing
not
to
happening.
San Fran and Detroit. I'm assuming then probably.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? And I just
I don't
want
know.
to shout out.
I'm just curious.
We had the Lions run the North in here, T in here earlier, and we never got to him. He was being super complimentary. Actually,
So was Purple
actually.
Jesus. They're both
And
like
Purple Jesus is now a Bears fan, he said. And I just got to say that I want to say thank you to T for being in here and being so, not being combative like he can be, the Lions Bears thing. It's a thing, and I pointed out before, like, why in the fuck do Lions fans act like they're the shit when they've had like 2 good years? Like they've sucked my whole life. I don't understand it, but it's fine. You guys, it's a weird dynamic, right?
It is tough to listen to when they
And
were
kind of-
literally the
I
laughing
grew up
stock.
watching the Lions
And they're
lose on
kind of
Thanksgiving
starting to
every year
suck
of my
now.
life. Like it's insane. But Kyle, we had him on for week 1 preview going into that Vikings game to start the season. And I told him straight up, like, I think KOC was drinking his own Kool-Aid. I think he overestimated his abilities with these quarterbacks, and I think you guys are in for a rough season. And that's exactly what happened.
I think we all picked the Vikings to be at the bottom of the
Yeah. And I mean, it sucks. It sucks when you're a fan and you see your team go in that direction, but I think they tied themselves to the wrong horse. I think Kyle's starting to realize it. I think Vikings fans are starting to realize it. Obviously, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the road for JJ McCarthy. He could turn it around. Who knows? I don't expect him to. It's been a rough season. If you want to be a Bears fan, come on over, Kyle. We got you. I mean, dude, root with us. Yeah, that's all good, man. I appreciate you guys being here, and I just want to thank everybody in the chat that's been throwing out such awesome comments. We haven't gotten to you as much as I want.
It's infectious. It's infectious.
Yeah, this Bears thing is for real, man. And I mean, what I find funny is that we come on here, and because we have differing opinions about how the Bears can get it done or what's going to work and what's not, like, I think we get proven every week. Like, we might know some things, but none of us know shit. At the end of the day, like, we're here giving our commentary and giving our opinions, and just like you guys have them, like, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, this ball could bounce any way this Sunday. And it'll be a beautiful morning if the Bears beat the Packers. It really will, Sean. I agree with you 100%.
You could have a field goal blocked at the end of the game to lose.
But let's not tie ourselves to our preconceived notions so much that we don't enjoy what's happening in front of us, guys. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I don't think there's a Bears fan in the world right now that's upset about what they're
doing. To win 8 wins.
And like you guys said, even if the Bears did lose to the Packers in
believe
Lambeau,
it?
it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, man. Losing
No,
to
it's
Green
not.
Bay in Green Bay is not the end of the world.
I'll
man.
just
That
say
doesn't- That
this.
doesn't
I
mean
think
you're
it
not a
would
good
be-
football team and you don't belong in the playoffs
I
all
just
the
think
time.
it would
Like,
be a
this is-
devastating gut punch because, like I said, through the years, when we're flying high, Bears fans are at their pinnacle. We go in with these high hopes. We can beat Green Bay, and they just everything that can go wrong for the Bears usually does. And I don't
We
know.
got to move past that, Sean.
Yeah, we got a different
I'm
coach.
trying, but
Our coach takes his shirt off so all of Chicago can get free hot dogs tomorrow.
He's a man of the
That's
people.
the vibes of this
But
Chicago Bears.
I think
team.
it's important. It's important to ask yourself, like, we talk about the Bears. This was a statement game because the NFL world doesn't believe in them. They don't believe the Bears are real. It's a flash in the pan. I think you have to ask yourself as a Bears fan, do you believe in them? Do you buy?
I
it?
100% do.
Well, I mean, what do you,
Brandon.
you
I 100%.
what?
Let me
Why?
make this point real quick, guys, because I said this to you guys, and I don't think it can be overstated that this win on Friday. I believe it was the statement win of the season, and it's the biggest statement game, the biggest win that I've seen the Bears have
10 years.
longer. I think honestly, I'm going back to 06 when they beat the Seahawks and the Saints in the playoffs to get to that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's how
19
important.
years.
That's how important this win was in my estimation, just in terms of establishing the fact that Ben Johnson has completely turned this thing around. When you go to work and you got a shitty boss, you put out shitty effort and you get shitty results. When you go to work and you got a damn good boss, you give out your best effort and you get great results. And we are seeing that effect happen with the Chicago Bears team right now. And I think that win against the Eagles exemplifies that more than anything, because it was ugly, it was gritty, it was not pretty.
It was
And
the
they
same old
fucking
Bears.
got the win and they celebrated it like it was the most important
Yeah, I
Team
mean,
we've watched all year.
This
Doing
game
it
was
ugly.
huge,
listen,
guys.
there's two people
And
that don't
I
need
feel
to be
good
convinced
going into
that
Green Bay.
there's two people in the world that don't be convinced that Ben Johnson is absolutely the man for the job. It's Sean and I. I mean, listen, man, if you're going to go draft a quarterback 1 overall, and you're going to say the future of this team is relies on the shoulders of Caleb Williams, then you need to do everything in your power to make sure that he has everything at his disposal to be a good franchise quarterback in the NFL. So what did they do? They brought Ben Johnson in, who's an offensive-minded coach, probably the best play caller in football, if not top 3, and he's going to be in that conversation for the next 10 years.
Fix the O-line.
You fix the interior of the offensive line by bringing in a bunch of stud free agents. You draft a tight end and a wide receiver and a left tackle or a right tackle. And
They weren't free agents, Kyle.
The
they traded for 2 out of those.
Yeah. Sorry, you trade for 2 of them.
That's
You sign
important
one free
to me.
agent, Drew Dahlman. You go draft a tight end, you draft a wide receiver, and you draft another tackle. And the first 2 rounds of the NFL draft, you draft a running back in the 7th round. And
That's kicking ass.
And you eliminate the excuses for Caleb Williams, and you make sure that if he can prove to you he's a franchise quarterback before you move forward with assuming that he's going to be the guy. And that's what's happened. And Ben Johnson, he said before the season started, the team I was always most worried about when I was coaching with the Detroit Lions was the Chicago Bears, because they were a sleeping giant. They were sitting on a gold mine.
And let me ask you
They
this,
just
man.
didn't see it.
I said in the offseason, I'll ask all 3 of you. I said this in the offseason. What is the potential ceiling for this football team if Ben Johnson is the coach that we want him, the Andy
I
Reid,
think that falls
the
on
Mike
Caleb Williams.
Tomlin? What is the ceiling of this football team if Caleb
I
Williams
think
is
it's
good
been
enough
proven that it doesn't.
and Ben
fall on Caleb
Johnson's the
Williams.
coach you expect him to be?
I think
Ben
that
Johnson said they're winning in spite of the passing game. It doesn't.
I understand, but I think the play if you're talking about future, Dustin, you're not talking about these games that we're talking about right now. Or
their potential.
I mean,
You're
this season,
talking
by the way,
about-
guys. I know the ceiling trajectory is sky's the limit.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you're
meant
talking about
this season.
I mean, every team in the NFL at this point who has 8 or 9 wins or better, 7, 8, 9 wins or better, is a Super Bowl contender.
They all have big question marks.
Yeah, especially this year, Kyle.
They've
It's been
proven
weird.
the
They
NFL has
all
proven it
have
because
big
every
question
team
marks.
has looked like shit at some point during the season. Every week we come on here and we go,
Exactly.
you know what, the Rams are the team to beat, and then the next very next week we're like, maybe not, maybe the Rams are not. That maybe they're not.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
the
and we're going to
Seahawks.
say Seattle now, and then the Seahawks are going to lose to somebody next week. And
This is the most parity we have ever seen. In
The Seahawks are
NFL
playing the Falcons.
as
They're
far
not
back
losing.
as I can remember. This is
Oh,
the
no,
most parity
definitely
we've seen in the NFL.
So with six clubs with 8 or more wins in the NFC, it's the first time since 2017.
Yeah, remember the Patriots and Broncos still have 2 losses. You think their fan base is saying
The
we can't win?
Broncos
We
look
can't
like
win this Super
shit
Bowl.
every time they play football, and they still fucking
Yeah, but
win.
it's the same shit Bears fans have been saying. Like,
That's
who cares? We win
exactly
a game.
that's
We
my
win a
point.
game.
Yeah, and you got to worry about
There's
them
20
too.
teams that can win the fucking Super Bowl
Right,
based on what
and
Sean was
that
just
Broncos
saying,
team
right?
doesn't.
agree.
I guess this is the point too. You think about, you watch that Broncos team, and every time that you watch them, you're like, man, this team's ass, and they keep winning. So it's like, if you're the opponent that's going to face the Broncos, like, you can criticize them all you want, but you got to worry about them because they
Because they
fucking
find
coming
ways
out
to
on
win.
top. You know what
I
I
feel
mean?
like
That's kind of how the Bears.
the team who wins the Super Bowl to me is going to be the healthiest team that makes the least amount of mistakes down the stretch. That's going to be the team who wins. I don't think it has to be a team with Patrick Mahomes on it or Josh Allen. I think it's just a team that has to play fundamentally sound football because every team is so damn
Kyle,
close to each other.
Can this
They're
Caleb
so
Williams?
damn close
Can
to each
this
other.
can this 62% completion Caleb Williams with the inaccuracy? Can he win a Super Bowl?
He's 59 actually.
I was going to say 59% Caleb Williams.
Can he? Yes.
With
Will
this
he?
team,
Can the
he-
team? Can the
Yes.
team?
Can the Bears?
Yes,
Yes.
with the woes that Caleb
Listen,
has.
I opened the
Which,
show.
by the way, I didn't get to say this, and I think it's important to say this, guys. I know the improvement is necessary, and I know it's something that we long for as Bears fans. The quarterback thing is still something we're driven for, we're hungry for. But I'm telling you this right now. Week 1 next season, Caleb Williams will improve those numbers.
oh, it's
The
only going to
off
get better.
season is what the
He's in the
film.
middle of his first
The
year with Ben
film is
Johnson's
what
offense.
matters the most. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have it. There's not enough to do with. They need an off season with the film to correct the mistakes Caleb has on film, and that'll be corrected before week
I-
1
I'll-
next year.
They
I think
corrected
that
it
Caleb's
week-
completion
and I'll say-
percentage
I'll
begins
say
to
this.
increase week 1 next season.
I'll say this. If the Bears can do what they did to Philadelphia
Yeah,
to
I was
every
just
team the
about to
rest
say
of the
that.
season,
I was just about to say
they
that.
can win the freaking
Can the
It's
Bears win the
irrelevant.
The Bears
It's
can win the
irrelevant.
Bears
Yeah.
can win the Super Bowl any way they want, but I would feel much better if the Bears won a Super Bowl running the ball behind this offensive
And if
line
the
than
Bears-
putting the
And
ball
Caleb
in Caleb
making the
Williams'
throws
hands.
when it's
Yeah,
necessary.
when he has
right?
to, but not throwing
big
the ball
one.
50 times a
And
game.
if the Bears can somehow hold on to home field advantage in any
It's
any
huge.
respect,
It's so
that-
huge.
That's
Hey,
with
you
the
take the North and you
outdoor
don't give it
elements,
back.
being able to run the ball, like they will have a
And
huge
here,
advantage in the
Call,
playoffs.
call me less of a Bears fan all you want. I'm scared as shit if I have to go to Seattle or to LA. You bring
Yeah,
Seattle or
fuck
LA
yeah.
to Chicago, I have a
It's
completely
a very
feeling
different.
than
It's
the-
a very
yeah.
different feeling. Yes.
I don't want to. I'll tell you, I probably fear Seattle the most as a road opponent. I think the Bears might be able to hang with the Rams in LA. That's winning in Seattle is so gosh darn
Sean, in 06, it was the most important thing. Home field
Yeah.
advantage for the
Yeah,
Chicago Bears.
100%.
The Seahawks coming into Chicago, the Saints
Oh,
coming
yeah.
into Chicago.
In the
Saints,
Stone.
if they were in
In the
that dome, and
Stone.
I think they were one game apart that year. If the Saints were in that dome, that game goes completely different, and Drew Brees probably carves up that Bears defense like Peyton Manning did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To be honest, yes, that's hugely important. And
I
and
believe
Ben
that-
Johnson has established a physical identity with this team that is perfect for the outdoor Chicago home field advantage. Perfect.
I believe this is an honest statement. I think it is just as hard right now in week 14, going into week 14, to go on FanDuel or DraftKings and pick your 2 Super Bowl teams than it was before week 1, before the season started.
Yeah. Nothing's been
There's
established.
there's just no team that's like head and shoulders. Listen, I know
that
the
said,
Patriots,
we're here and this is us,
yeah,
and we're
and
better.
I know
than
the
everybody.
Patriots are 9-2 and they've looked damn good, but I think the Patriots are beatable. I
Of
certainly
course
don't
they
think
are,
they're like not
especially
beatable.
without
Well,
Will Campbell.
They have the second easiest schedule in the NFL behind the Niners.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to continue to win games, but when they're missing the strongest part of their offensive line, they're not the same team.
Yeah, the
we
Bears
saw
can
that.
stand up
We
against
saw
any
that
team in
against
the
the
NFC.
Bengals.
And the Bears can stand up against any team in the AFC. It's gonna be a dogfight, guys. It's gonna be a fucking dog.
It's going to be a lot of fun
Listen,
down the stretch.
It'll be a dog.
I
A lot of close games in the playoffs this year. There might be some overtime in the playoffs this year.
I think
for sure.
I think Bears fans are having trouble.
Because we don't see
what you
this
guys think
shit.
of this. I think Bears fans are having trouble embracing that Ben Johnson is Mike Tomlin. He is Andy Reid. He is Jim Harbaugh.
Better
He's
than
a
Mike
quarter.
Tomlin.
He's a head coach that you're going to win football games with, no matter how ugly it becomes, man. And I think that Bears fans need to start trying to embrace the fact that, like, maybe you got a guy who's going to win games even when you don't think you have the roster that should.
Let me ask
That's
you
what a
question.
good. Hold on, Kyle. What I just said is that's what a good head coach. When you don't have the roster that you think should win a Super Bowl, a good head coach will do it anyways. That's what good coaches do. That's what Mike Tomlin did. Like, that's
Well,
what
I
all
don't-
these guys who consistently make the
that
playoffs.
Steelers team was pretty fucking
No,
good.
no,
Won a Super
no,
Bowl.
but yeah, well, you say that, but Mike
Plus-
Tomlin's made the playoffs with whatever Steelers team
Yeah,
is on.
playoffs versus
Whatever
Super Bowl
team.
are two different
Plus,
conversations.
Whatever
these
team.
teams, these
You can
teams
give
have all
Mike
got-
Tomlin any team. You can give Mike Tomlin this Bears team, and he'll be in the fucking playoffs. There's no doubt about it. So, like,
These
maybe
I don't know
we
if he's
just
gonna be in
finally,
the
with that
playoffs this
Steelers
year.
team.
You guys,
maybe we
these-
finally have the coach.
No, we
will-
definitely have the coach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
look at the
definitely
parity
have
though.
the
Look at the
But
parity. The, part,
embrace
the, re-
that.
the big reason for the
Accept it.
parity is because all these GMs
100%.
have got a lot of GMs have really been really good at drafting. A lot of these teams have been good at free agency. It used to be like, oh, there was 5, 6, 7, 8 good, really good GMs in football. This is not the case anymore, man. I mean, look at even the Cardinals, who are a terrible team. They may have had the best draft of any team in the NFL, and I expect them to be damn good in the next couple of years if they could find a quarterback. This is just the way the NFL is going, man. There is no dominant team. It's any given. It truly is any given Sunday.
We'll see.
It to me is one of the most captivate like people who are kind of like casual football fans. To me, this is one of the best seasons we've ever seen in the history of football. It really is.
Yeah, no, and the
It's
Bears
not
being
like, oh, the
9-3
Chiefs are winning. The Chiefs are winning. The Chiefs are going to win. The Chiefs. What's it all for? The Chiefs are going to win. That's not going to happen this year. Nobody
Watch the
knows.
Chiefs sneak in and win the whole damn thing again.
Yeah, it's still on the table, Sean.
Yeah,
Sean,
it's
do you
not
got
playoffs.
Sean?
not
Do
a
you got other
guarantee.
things you want to get to? Because I got a segment I want to throw at you guys. It's a surprise segment.
Well, can I ask you guys a question
I
real
wanna
quick?
see if
Real
you
quick.
guys
I just
like
want
it.
to. I was trying to ask.
No,
this
I'm
couple.
good.
The Bears. So I listened to an interview the other day, and this guy's like, I don't know, some football expert. He just analyzes all the numbers and
Sounds made
players.
up.
And he said, he's like, Chicago Bears fans, you guys are legit, and you're going to be legit for the next 10 years. You know why? Because Ben Johnson is the head of the pack. He realized that when the NFL started playing two deep safeties because of the Patrick Mahomes era, that the way to win in the NFL is to run the ball, and he's going to continue to be the most run-heavy team in the
Just
NFL.
go back to what you did.
He's like, it's all the NFL's becoming back to about running backs, and they're starting to
And
steer
then
away
the
from these
play action.
quarterbacks a little bit
And then
more.
the
And
play action.
it's not only that, Kyle. It's the schemes that he draws up and the execution.
The
of those
run
schemes.
game is so pretty.
It is, dude. That is legit, man. That was like a.
It reminds me of Shanahan in San Francisco in terms
Yeah,
of how creative he is.
I
in
think Ben
designing the
Johnson
run.
is the reason Ashton Genty was a top 10 pick. I think 3 years ago,
What's
Ashton
up, Learn? How you
Genty's
doing, man?
in the mid 20s.
Well, 3
Nobody
years ago,
gave a
Bijan
shit.
Robinson was drafted in the top.
Nobody
10, so I don't
nobody
know.
gave a shit about the running back. It
And
was a
Jahmyr Gibbs was like, what,
devalued
number 11?
position. You guys
11th
remember
pick.
this? There was a moment where the running back just didn't matter. Do you remember that? Where you would just sign whoever, and it was the position in the draft. It was very rare to even
They
see
were
a first round
devalued,
pick.
but they always matter. They were
Do you remember that?
devalued, Brandon, but they always.
Yeah, but you're
matter.
kind of ignoring, not even listening to what I'm saying. Do you
No,
remember
I'm
where there
hearing you.
was no first round running back? Like
Well,
that
you
wasn't
just
a
said 3
thing?
years ago, Bijan was drafted at like number 5.
Okay, so
5, 3
forgive
years
my
ago.
my term of the number, man.
There's
Jesus
been
fucking
good
Christ.
ones that have
Right.
been in
Okay.
that spot.
Forget
There
the
has
whole
been.
thing I said.
Okay, let's forget it. Moving on. I
Hear
just want to
this
throw this
surprise segment.
I just wanted to throw this out here. This isn't the surprise segment. Brandon, you're feisty tonight. I like it.
Yeah.
The 2025 NFL performance against teams with winning records. I just thought this was worth throwing out there because the Rams are obviously the best. They're at the top there at 6-2, 75 point differential.
75 point differential.
Yeah,
Holy
against
shit.
8 teams with winning records, they have 75 point differential. The Bears are 3-1 with a negative 2 point differential. Now that's changed because they're now like what plus they're +7 now at this point because they just beat the Eagles by 9.
By 9.
What 3 teams have they beat over 500?
The
Steelers?
Steelers, the Cowboys.
Oh, I
and
forgot the
the
Cowboys
Eagles.
over 500 now.
Yeah. So they're the second best team in the league right now, even with that negative point differential, which is not negative anymore. It's +7. And the
Yeah.
Packers are right there as well. So I just to kind of debunk that whole the Bears haven't beaten anybody shit, like they're right up there with everybody except the Rams. And I don't think Kyle was just surprised by that, but we know how good the Rams are just by watching them, and it feels that way. Like they have been that dominant until this past Sunday,
and I'm
and
gonna
that
say-
opens it up. That opens it up.
I'll say this too: if they've been the most dominant team, which it looks like they have been, when you look at the analytics and the metrics, just remember the '85 Bears went to the Dolphins and they lost, and they were still the best team in the football. 1 week doesn't make you worse. Everyone has a bad day at the office.
It's
They
a whole
struggled
body of
with
work.
Carolina. It is what it is. I still think the Rams are the team to beat. They're super efficient.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Things are going to
The
happen.
way they can get those touchdowns with Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is like the tush push.
Yeah, it's unstoppable. It's unstoppable. So it's hard. It's still hard to see. You need home field advantage. And Ben
You
Johnson
do.
said the Bears are going to be playing their best football in December. Well, let's see it. Everything else he said so far has come true. Let's see that come true. Because if the Bears play their best football in December, they will finish as the best team in the NFC record-wise.
It should.
That's what will happen. So I mean, we're gonna see. The segment I want to throw out, guys, is 4 stars, 4 favorite texts of the week. Now, this might feel like an invasion of privacy, but I screenshotted some of our texts. We text throughout the week, and I only give a shit if you guys like this. If the chat don't like it, it is what it is. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing it. If not, you guys can tell me to fuck off.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see this.
I'm gonna throw out one. These are 4 stars, 4 favorite texts of the week from our group chat. Okay, first one from Kyle. What a great draft class. Ozzie gave up a sack, but he was great for most of the day. Loveland and Burton came up with huge plays when it mattered. Monungai continues to get better. Turner looked good in his limited time. I still think Zay Frazier is going to play a big role on this team next year. Luke Newman looks serviceable for a 6th-round pick. If Ryan Poles and this coaching staff keep stacking drafts like this one, the Bears are going to be damn good for 15 years, fellas. I like that one. It's a good overall outlook on how this.
I don't think I saw that one. So thanks for the
mark it as red. This one right here is more of a funny one that me and Brandon more kind of exchanged. I'm gonna throw this out here. I showed you guys that Nick McLeod jersey is being advertised on X. It's like, and then I said, this is a joke, right? I sent you guys this. $130. Brandon points out there and laughs. $130 for a Nick McLeod jersey. We all just went through in this show earlier and bashed him.
The worst bear. The worst bear.
By far the worst bear on the roster. Why is his jersey being advertised? That's the first one you see when you're on X. Brandon threw out the laughing emojis. And then I said, you need to pay me at least $10 to wear that thing. We're at a $140 deficit right now. And Brandon said, what a terrible way to advertise jerseys. And this goes on a little longer because we kind of went crazy. He said, who's their marketer? Adam Mason? I said, Nick McLeod's mom. And then I said, how does that jersey even get made? That's got to be a prank. And then Brandon said, the tailor went to management like, I think you guys gave me the wrong template. This is a Bears jersey, says McLeod. Yeah, and I've never heard of her. And then I said, did you mean McMahon? And then I said, I'll put McChicken on this thing if you want. I'd rather wear a jersey that says McChicken than McLeod, to be honest.
Well, the McChicken will be around a lot longer than Nick McLeod. I can tell you that shit.
That was a funny one, I thought. Okay, and then Brandon said, "Be the first to sport the NFL's new practice squad editions." You accidentally gave me Ray McLeod's number on my Bears jersey. Okay, who cares? Fair enough. And then I said the NFL's new salute to serviceable collection.
That's funny. How is that not funny?
The salute to serviceable. I thought it was funny.
I missed all that too. Was that in our group
Yeah,
chat?
but he's not even serviceable.
Yeah, that was in our group chat. Sean, you got to start paying attention because there's some gems.
We were crushing it.
I don't know how I missed all that.
I was laughing so hard during that whole process. I don't know what the chat's saying.
During that conversation.
There's no comments coming through.
This one was funny, I thought, or good in one way or another. Brandon said, I think Pole's greatest achievement is not selecting quarterback from the young Stroud, Richardson, Levis class because they're all kind of ass, like his awareness to do that. And then I said, put some respect on Bryce Young's name because he just threw a touchdown on 4th down at that time. 4th down, dying, goddamn, against the best team in the NFC. And then Sean said that was an A+ throw, Young for show. And then Sean, this is why I copied this one. Sean said, I fucking hate Atlanta. Bijan gets them there, then he's gone. Fuck you, Atlanta. And then Sean said, touchdown Bijan. I take it all back. Kyle said, Bijan having a huge game, man. That's the Sean kind of goes up.
He had 100 yards in the first half.
Take it all back.
He had 100 yards and a touchdown in the first half. I'm like, this is going to be his best game ever of his career.
He says, I take it all back.
Do you guys like this segment?
I really,
that's good.
I was really hoping for that parlay. James Cook couldn't get it done.
James Cook didn't get the touchdown. He had a damn good game too, man.
He had a good game, just couldn't get paid dirt.
Yeah, when you hit Bijan, you hit
Christian McCaffrey,
and then the other one was who?
Who the fuck was the other one?
James
Nico
Cook.
Collins.
Or no, you said James Cook.
No, it was another running back. Damn it, I don't remember who it was.
I don't either.
DeAndre
Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, Saquon Barkley.
No,
Saquon?
it wasn't Barkley.
It was on
No.
Sunday. Yeah, whatever.
Here, I can
All right.
tell you, I have them all screenshotted.
This was us exchanging about the
RJ
snow
Harvey?
on Saturday night. This was fun. I had worked all day. I said I worked all day, drove home in this shit, then had to shovel and clean off the cars. Heavy snow on this one too. Sean said, "Great, can't wait. That's exactly what I got to do. I'll hit at about 8 a.m. tomorrow." Hell, it's still snowing by me. I said, "Yeah, same here. More to do tomorrow. This is already bigger than any snow we've had last year. We got lucky last winter. Kept telling everybody we're fucked this year. Got to get out of Illinois." Sean said, "100% it is. I measured the snow on the patio table at like 8:30. It was at 11 inches. And I said, Sean, stop sticking your dick in the snow, man. You're going to get frostbite." Sean just laying down like Mission Impossible style, just dropping down.
Well, it's funny. He texted me that earlier when I was 8 inches.
He's just growing as we go.
A-Chain was the other running back.
A-Chain, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because I had mentioned he had that 29-yard touchdown run. It was beautiful. And then, but this was from this morning, actually. I'd say one more loss and the Chiefs are done, Brandon said. And the Texans, maybe I don't go with this one. We'll just we'll not do that one.
That's a little X-rated for the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was fun though. I if you guys have some that you want to throw in there as we go, I just think it's good to kind of get people a little insight in our ridiculous group text because like we do this shit all week.
Yeah, we
just
do.
come on here.
It's pretty consistent. It's an all day thing, guys.
If the chat didn't like it, I don't give a shit. If you guys liked it, we'll do it again next week.
I thought it was fun.
Well,
That was fun. We should do this again.
Not like it's breaking news to any by any means necessary, guys. But right now, the Patriots are just absolutely beating the shit out of the New York Giants, man. Just absolutely.
And Herbert
beating the
and
shit
Justin
out of them.
Herbert just had a hand surgery.
And he's still gonna play. The Chargers are having the season from now.
They said now they're saying that.
And Sean Drake May has 78 yards and a touchdown, so that is also, and he has a rush for 3 yards. So
Dude, I
the division is over.
Hey, so can I throw this out there?
Yeah, throw some out
Brandon,
there. I got some questions.
I think I got
for you guys
first place in your league, first round bye. I know in Mills' league, I won the division best record first round bye. And in the big money league, I got to play in the first round. That's
Sean, you weren't shouting me out last
guy.
year when I was dominating all of our leagues.
I shouted myself out. You should have shot yourself out last year.
I probably did. I'm sure I had
did multiple times.
I'm sure I did. Yeah,
This
year's been rough.
back. Here, Brandon, I'll say this. You and I could have had a tie record if I didn't play you when you had 900 people on bye. But unfortunately, I did for you, and I got the dub.
Well,
everybody's got that. Everybody's got that week.
Yeah, I just beat Brandon this week. Seattle's defense got me 33 points.
Dude, Seattle. I had Seattle.
Yeah, I know. My team actually had a good week.
Yeah, we had the best matchup of the
great, but they were good.
Dude, Seattle's defense outscored Josh Allen, dude.
Man, I had Adonai Mitchell on the bench with like 30 points.
Yeah, he's good, man. Max Brosmer was my best fantasy player this week.
All right, guys.
He was my best fantasy player.
Let's get out
I
of
got
here.
a few questions, Kyle, real quick. I got a few questions that I want to just throw out there real quick. All right.
Bears.
If the Ravens don't make the playoffs, will they fire Harbaugh?
No, because he'll go in there and be like, I was missing Lamar Jackson for 80% of the season, and when he did play, he had turf toe and he didn't look the same.
Okay, so Harbaugh stays. I think it's on the table.
I think he just gets another season if he doesn't make the playoffs. One season without the playoffs. It's like that's kind of.
He ain't winning the Super Bowl either. He ain't winning the Super Bowl at any
I'll
time.
say there's an outside chance. I'm going to say yes. I've been questioning Harbaugh for a little bit. There's way too much talent on this team for this.
Yeah, his fans are mad at him, Sean.
Underachieved. The team's underachieved. They should have won a Super Bowl already.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next, and I feel like this next person is in the same boat. If the Steelers don't make the playoffs, will they fire Tomlin? They were calling for his firing on the field.
I think it's time for a change there. He's been there, 18 years, 19 years, something like that?
Dude, I still think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Can you imagine being fired as an NFL coach after 18 seasons and never having a losing season ever once?
Yeah,
once.
That might happen this year, though, for him.
It
He might
might.
get his first one on his way out. But, I mean, the Giants are right there for him if he gets fired. He could just go jump over to New York and take over that team. That team is – I would want to –
that would be so much better than fucking Nagy.
Yeah, I mean, God, I can't see Nagy getting a head coaching job. All right, I already
I
asked
think
that
he will
question.
never survive in New York, dude.
Yeah, no fucking. Well, I mean, you already have that on tape. He couldn't survive in Chicago, and that market is even worse. Is Joe Burrow the best QB in the NFL for the remainder of this season? No quarterback has really stood out and been that damn great besides Stafford, right?
Drake
But I mean,
May.
is
Drake May.
Drake May? I have Drake May and Dak Prescott on my fantasy team. Dak Prescott, I just want to say, Dak Prescott, I've been telling you guys for years, he's so underrated and he's so overlooked, and people dog on him unnecessarily. Sean, I know you've had him in your MVP rankings all year.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott has been fucking
He's
phenomenal.
been
He's the only guy I'd put over Joe Burrow right now.
I don't think anybody's ever questioned Dak's talent. It's his health that has been the massive.
It's been
concern.
healthy this year for sure.
Do you guys think that you could attribute? Do you think the Steelers GM should be fired before Mike Tomlin, considering the
No,
quarterbacks he's been provided?
This is like his
That's a
second
good.
year
That's a
in.
good point.
Yeah. I mean, the Steelers have done a really good job of building that
Yeah, but
roster in
but
every aspect except the quarterback.
This is what his second or third year there. So I mean, it's not like all the quarterbacks that
No,
Mike
he's been the
Tomlin's been-
GM for like 8 years, man.
No, I think they hired him at the same time we hired Ryan Poles, man.
Oh,
I think he
you're
was
right.
on the list of potential hires for the Bears.
I thought he had been there a little longer, to be honest. I thought
It's
he
that
took
Omar
over.
Khan or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
it is Omar Khan, but I think he took over for the guy that was there forever, and I thought that was about 5-6 years ago, to be honest, but who knows? So you guys
2022.
Okay, so yeah.
So he can't be blamed for much.
Is Joe Burrow the best quarterback in the league? Do you think that's a possibility for the remainder of the season?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes. I think he is. Like just
I think he's the best quarterback. In the league. Yeah,
in
I
the
agree with Brandon.
I think he's a
the
top
best
3 quarterback
in the league.
in the NFL. Yeah, so like he always has a chance to be the best quarterback in the NFL. Always.
Okay.
He was the
But his
best. He was the
but
best
his
quarterback in the
health-
NFL
his
last year.
health sucks.
He threw 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
His health. His
He
health is
should
a
have been the
problem.
MVP last year.
Yeah, if he
Well,
had-
his
they
offensive
make-
line is a problem too.
If they had snuck into the playoffs last year, he was the MVP.
Yeah, they need to start addressing his health, with
I think
protection.
that's so lame. You have to make the playoffs to be. I mean, Joe Burrow was the fucking MVP. That team would have had one win if he was the
100%.
quarterback of
He
that
was
fucking team. It's so lame.
True
Yeah,
Pilgrim.
Pilgrim
the
says
MVP
Mahomes
in
is the
football
best
is
QB in the
dumb as
league.
Yeah,
fuck.
Sean, and you know what's funny, Sean? You always call that a quarterback award, and I don't disagree with you at all. And I'm thinking to myself, like,
Well, it is.
is this
It
the
is.
first year? Is this the first year like you could possibly not award a quarterback that award, dude? Like,
I mean, honestly, there's 2 position players that probably
besides Stafford,
earned
who?
it. 3 actually.
Yeah, I think Smith Najigba's made just a bigger difference to his team as Stafford.
Jonathan Taylor,
Oh,
Christian
this is the first
McCaffrey.
season.
Miles
This is the
Garrett
first season.
has
There's no
25
quarterback that
sacks.
just stands out alone to me.
Yeah, Miles Garrett has been phenomenal.
I mean,
as
if he
well.
has 25,
That was why I
sacks,
asked
he
this
should be getting
question.
consideration, dude.
Joe Burrow came back on Thursday and
Dude,
his
can you
team
imagine-
looked better.
You guys imagine the Raiders without Brock Bowers?
Or Max Crosby. What about Max Crosby?
Did you guys
Fuck.
see that? Did you guys see the second touchdown to Brock Bowers?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
catch that he made, reaching
yeah.
back,
Oh my-
almost hit the ground. Yeah,
oh my
that was
god!
insane.
Here,
And the
if we
Puka
can
Nakua
put it
catch
to
was
rest.
amazing too.
Brock Bowers is the
Amazing.
best tight end.
The
Well,
Treylon
are-
Burks
guys,
catch
are the-
last night.
Are the
Traylon
Colts?
Burks catch was good.
Are
So
the
was
Colts-
Puka Nakua. Puka
Yeah,
Nakua's
that was
catch was
brilliant.
Puka
insane.
Nakua caught that with
dude.
his hand back.
Are the Colts?
Yeah.
Are the Colts temporarily in lead of their division? Because I don't think they're going to win. I think the Texans are going to win that division. But are the Colts in the lead of their division without John Taylor?
You know who's winning? No, they're you know who's leading the division right now?
The Jaguars.
Jacksonville.
The Jaguars.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
Jaguars are on top of the AFC
I think the
North.
Texans are going to win that division over anyone.
It's looking like that more and more. The Colts are regressing.
and I haven't
yeah.
wavered.
I'll tell you what. This is
But Jonathan Taylor has
Texans
been
Chiefs this week, right?
remarkable.
Texans line. Who is it this week? Texans who?
You got the Colts and the Jaguars and the
I think it's
Texans and the
Texans
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Texans Chiefs
That
Sunday
game
night.
is going to be
They're in Kansas City.
insane.
Yeah.
So really quick,
There's
Brandon,
a lot of good football.
Brandon,
This
to that
Sunday.
point, four of Taylor's last 6 have been under 100, and I believe 3 of his last 4 he's went without a touchdown.
The Colts
they
are
lost.
regressing.
And they lost some of those, didn't they?
Yeah, everybody's like, all these defenses are like, hey, stop Jonathan Taylor and make Daniel Jones beat you. And
Yeah,
he
make
can't
Daniel
do it.
Jones beat you. That's
You
going to go
can't
really
do it.
well.
All right, here's a good one. Who finishes as the number 1 seed in the NFC and AFC if you had to choose today?
I got the
I'm going
Patriots in the
Broncos.
AFC because their schedule is a joke.
Yep.
So I'll go Patriots in the AFC. And in the NFC, I'm going to go Rams.
Rams got a tough schedule to finish out.
Did the Rams play the Seahawks to finish the season?
Yes, they
The
did.
Rams and Seahawks play again.
I'm gonna
Not
go
to- not to
Seahawks.
finish the season. I think in 2 weeks.
Seahawks Broncos.
Ooh. I'm going I'm going Bears Patriots.
Oh, just like 85, man.
I'm going Bears Patriots. Sean, who do you got? Number one
I'm looking
team.
here.
You guys, J2K Designs asked, what percentage do you guys give Ryan Poles winning GM of the year?
He's got a 50-50 shot right now. He's been one of the
He's
better
got to be in the
GMs
top
league.
three. He's gotta be in
Dustin,
the top
I'm going
three.
Bears.
I
I'm
think
going Bears Patriots.
J2K, I think they
Yeah,
won't.
Bears
Patriots
Patriots number one
too.
seeds.
I
Sean,
think that
I
Ryan
like it. You
Poles
did some
is-
research and
Hey,
came
the
through.
two
I
best,
did no research at all.
the
I
two
think
best,
Ryan Poles
two best
is
coaching
going
hires
to
in the
be-
offseason.
I think J2K. I think Ryan Poles is going to be the GM of the year. I thought about this a couple weeks ago. You're not going to not give Mike Vrabel Coach of the Year, so Poles
Unless
should be
Ben
GM.
Johnson.
That's
Poles should
retarded.
be Poles
Oh,
should
shit.
be
Oops.
GM of the year, or sure, executive of the year.
Well,
That's
speaking-
dude. That's the fact that I was looking at this the other day, and there was two coaches ahead of Ben Johnson was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. There is 0.0% chance that Vrabel and Johnson should not be running
Yeah,
one and
neck
two.
those
neck
two.
for this award.
Yeah.
Well,
there
Dave
is no other-
Canellis. Dave
Who was
Canellis, I would throw. Dave Canellis, I would throw on that list.
Yeah, because his quarterback sucks dick.
So is Bryce
Is
Young
that who it
actually
was?
good?
Is that who it was?
No, it was probably Steichen for the Colts.
Steichen's up there for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about
Yeah,
it.
he's not
Oh,
going to.
Steichen's up there.
Yeah, I would imagine it was Steichen.
He ain't
Okay, so
gonna
then talking about polls, because this is the guy we were comparing
be.
polls
Oh,
to.
it's Liam Cohen. That's who it is.
Oh,
It's Liam
fuck
Cohen.
Liam Cohen. I don't think he's very good. But the Kwesi Adolfo Mensah was being compared to Poles, and everybody was saying the Vikings got the right guy. Poles sucks. But is Kwesi going to get fired this offseason, guys, with the way the shit
Hey,
show?
really
Is he going to be the scapegoat?
He should
Really
be
quick.
because of JJ McCarthy. He should be. That's just terrible evaluation. JJ McCarthy sucks, dude. We all knew
They
it.
tied
We all
themselves
knew
to a
it.
guy
We
that set
all
them back
knew
3
it.
years.
You guys, we don't analyze football. We're not GMs in front offices. We're not NFL scouts. And we all could watch JJ McCarthy in Michigan and be like, that guy sucks. He's not good. So
Hey,
the
really
fact
quick.
no worries, Mikey.
All good.
It currently goes Vrabel, Steichen, Johnson, Cohen as where the odds are.
Yeah,
after
Steichen's
Steichen.
gonna fall off hard, man.
I would put Canellis in that conversation, though.
He's not in the
If they
top
win
four
the
right now.
division, he absolutely needs to be considered.
100%.
There's
I
no
agree.
doubt about
I
it.
agree with that.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was-
think
that
he
was-
will.
You guys think
That
Kyle says yes on the Vikings GM Kwesi getting
Yes,
fired?
I
Do you
think
guys
it should
that's
be
gonna happen?
considered. I think it should be considered. Yeah, that dart throw was
I
really
think
good.
he's going to be the scapegoat.
No, I
shit-
don't think so because I
that shit
think
was-
they'll feel
yeah.
like they have the Bears were always high on this the continuity. I think they'll feel like if they get the quarterback that O'Connell needs, they'll be right back on track. And I don't think that's going to be the
I
case.
can tell you this from Sean and I's show: the
wouldn't trust
fans,
him to
the
get it
fans
from
want him fired.
Yeah, the
definitely
fans are
want him
sick
fired.
of him how he
I'll
plays
say
with their
this
draft
after-
capital.
Did you
after
see
we-
the fans egged the house of the Eagles offensive coordinator?
Kevin Patullo,
Yeah,
yeah,
you saw that?
yeah, I did.
It
I'll
was
say
a
this.
massacre.
Did you guys see that throw
It
by
was like
Jackson
the
Dart?
1,000 eggs.
Sean, did you see that?
What?
You see that throw by Jackson Dart?
I don't have the game on.
Dart
Yeah,
is a good quarterback.
Damn.
Yeah, I
that's
knew.
good throw.
Sean
Yeah,
was trying to say something.
I was just saying, I was talking to those Minnesota guys, and they just, regurgitated back to me what I already knew about the 12% success rate in the draft. You can't do that as a GM. That is an ultimate failure. And his 12% success rate should ultimately get his ass fired, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you
Mikey.
can keep
Yes,
building through free agency, but it just
Yes.
sets you back.
yes, Mikey. I believe.
I
you
don't know
should-
how you bench Justin Jefferson, man. Justin Jefferson needs to get traded out of there. Justin Jefferson needs to ask for a trade. Like that,
Did they
he's
bench
fucked.
him?
No, he's asking if he should bench him in fantasy.
Oh,
Who's Minnesota play? If Brosmer's the quarterback, I would bench him.
yeah, I would. I
Yeah.
agree. Sean, that's not even a bold statement.
It's not a bold statement,
No,
dude.
don't
Hey, Brooklyn.
touch any. If that kid's playing quarterback, don't touch a Vikings player in fantasy.
I know I'm going to go pick up the defense. Who's Minnesota playing next week? I want
Yeah,
that
just
seed.
stream that defense the defense every week against Minnesota. That won me that matchup.
Oh,
for
we
sure.
got a new another oracle.
Oh, we get Brookie's opinion.
Okay, so let's ask Brooklyn. Will Lane Kiffin win a national title at LSU?
Yes.
Oh,
Ooh.
man, that's tough. That's a good question, Dustin.
I'm going to say yes, but he's such a piece of shit for what he did to those guys.
Yeah, I
dude.
just want to talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna
He-
say
he-
yeah.
It is
Ole Miss
a
was
low
so
down,
good.
dirty,
So
rotten
much better.
dude.
I mean, like, why?
Coaches wait their whole career to get in this position, and then you walk out on the team that you recruited and you built before.
He
God,
tried to stay there for the playoffs, from what I read and heard.
dude,
He tried, but it
I
didn't
thought
work
they
out.
fired him. I didn't think he
they
quit.
did. They fired him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he took the job and he wanted to stay there, and he
I
also
thought they
tried
fired
to
him
threaten
prior
him.
to the taking of the LSU job. I
No,
thought they terminated him.
No, he took the job, and then they were
he
like,
took the job, and then they were like, "We're just gonna move on. We're gonna put an interim."
Well, of course, yeah. Well, yeah, they should.
just and you know
But
what?
yes, he will.
I've never really had anything against Lane Kiffin. Just such a low down, dirty move for every one of those kids on that Ole Miss roster.
I mean, it doesn't.
Terrible,
I'm not gonna
terrible.
body shame, and it doesn't matter. But he looks stupid to me. His face looks really dumb.
Lane Kiffin has had a weird career, and he's remade himself. And
He
I
used-
think I think LSU is going to be dangerous with him as their.
So do I.
He's a
So do I. And there was
multi-generational,
one
isn't
point
he?
where I thought he was a joke.
Lane Kiffin's
Now I-
father and grandfather were NFL.
Monty Kiffin was the defensive
just gonna
coordinator
say,
for the
Monty?
Eagles. Yeah,
The good old Monty.
I think
He was
I think he made that. I think
God rest
honestly,
his
I think
soul.
he
A lot of good matchups, Mikey.
overachieved. I think he overachieved on that Ole Miss program, and I think that he will win a championship with LSU.
I think it's going to happen. But yeah, it sucks the way it happened. It
It's
seems like
so
he
true.
tried this.
I
But like, and
here-
Ole Miss actually offered him the same contract to stay that he got.
Here
at
though,
LSU,
Dustin,
the
don't
same
you
money.
think like
And now we're talking about Ole Miss. Wasn't that Jackson Dart's fucking?
Yeah, he made Jackson Dart.
don't you honestly think that this is going to happen? You just keep it under wraps and finish the season because it's really more a disservice. It's a shitty move by LSU, but it's such a disservice to all those athletes.
The Tulane coach
Let me
did
give
the
some
same thing,
perspective.
Sean.
Let me
The
give
Tulane
some.
coach left
All
his
these
team
coaches are doing it, but let
today.
me give you some perspective because I heard Tom McShay say this today, and I thought this was a good way to look at it. Like the way this college football season is, you got to get in there and start recruiting. You got to get in there and start building a team for the next season. Like it's happening
It's 3
now.
weeks.
It's but you're 3 weeks behind Kirby Smart at Georgia.
The Tulane coach just quit
that's tough, man. The way it's set up
to take
now,
another
like,
job.
I think
Yeah,
college
guess that's
football.
true.
College football in general with the transfer portal and the NIL shit.
All right,
now,
Sean.
and these
Mikey,
coaches, like,
Sean,
it's
Does
very
Sean
different.
does
Dart is
Bill
playing the game.
Belichick turn that program around? Or is
I
he
don't
done?
I think Bill Belichick's going to be gone out of USC.
He's done.
The guys, True
He's
Pilgrim
washed.
says Kiffin will definitely win a championship at LSU. And
I wanted to add-
Mikey said Dart's not playing. He is playing, man.
Dart's playing. V-Dog asked a good question here. Do y'all agree Lions are done based on what happened the past couple weeks? I think if they lose to the Cowboys,
Yes,
they lose to the
that
Cowboys this
schedule is
Thursday,
tough.
whoever loses this game on Thursday is done. Is out of the playoff.
I agree,
Yeah,
Justin, because if they lose to the Cowboys, they go to the Rams.
Yeah, and if they
That's
lose to the Cowboys,
rough.
they're 7-6.
And they go
You're
to the
only
Rams.
your
7-7.
ceiling is a.
You can still finish 10-7 and make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then they have to
I
beat
think
the Bears in Chicago.
Ben Johnson said today, and he thinks he's targeting 11 wins to get into the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah, I think the
tend to agree
NFC
with
will
him.
require more wins than the AFC.
I think he'll get to 12.
No, because I was looking at the Chiefs today. If the Chiefs lose 7 games, they're done.
The Chiefs got to win out with the games that they've already lost. Brandon,
One
They've
more
already
loss, they're done.
They've
I
lost
agree.
to all the teams they're going to be competing with to get
Yeah,
in
the
the wild
AFC is tough, man. If you're not at double-digit wins, and I would say 11, you're not in. You're not in.
And you throw in the fact that the Chiefs have already lost to teams like the Jaguars and the Bills and the who else? They lost to another AFC team, and they're about to play the Texans. These are all the teams you're going to have to beat out to get into the wild card. They lost to the Chargers. That's right. So like these are teams that already have a leg up on them as it is. The Chiefs have to win out.
Yeah. I
It's going to be
agree,
crazy.
and I don't think they're going to.
Yeah,
do
the
it.
Texans are playing really well right now. So good luck, Chiefs.
That defense is frightening.
I don't have any more questions, guys. I just wanted to throw a few out at you. There's some stuff
I have
was
a question.
thinking about.
Can the AFC South produce 3 playoff teams?
No.
This was my response to that in the text. I said, what if the AFC South produces 3 playoff teams?
Yeah, I was so confused by this.
I said, what if my tits start producing milk? Would you want
Yeah,
some?
and that's what I was. I was like, what? I was so confused.
It's just me saying that it's not likely to happen. And if it does, you don't want it. That's what I'm saying, guys.
I don't care what happens in the AFC, but like I was so.
I don't want to see 3 AFC South teams in the playoffs. That would be.
But
trash.
what if they earn their shit, man?
Mikey gets it. Mikey got it.
I think the Patriots, Bills, Ravens,
Broncos.
Texans, Broncos, Chargers. That leaves one spot between the Chiefs, the Colts,
And the Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think do you guys think the Bengals could win out and kick the Ravens out because they have to play them again in Cincinnati?
Yes.
That's a possible. We said it was out of question on last Monday's show, but it's looking more possible now
Yeah,
that
I
they
think-
beat the
I
Hey,
think
you
Ravens.
the
guys,
Bengals-
all three of you said the
Bengals could end up
Chiefs
in the
make the
playoffs.
playoffs last week.
It's so hard to bet against the Chiefs, Brandon.
It's really hard for me to think that they do.
It got a lot harder
hard.
after
Well, dude, you just
Thanksgiving.
asked.
Yeah,
three
once they
AFC
lost to
teams are in it.
yeah,
Three
yeah.
AFC
With
South
the
teams
loss
are
to
in
the
it.
Cowboys, that changes.
One of
things
those
for sure.
AFC South
That
teams just
loss
start
didn't
losing a lot.
surprise me one bit.
I picked the Cowboys to win the game actually.
Yeah,
As the game was about to happen.
picked
me
the
and my
This
Cowboys
brother-
Cowboys
Yeah,
team
well,
right now,
good.
guys, is listen. Schottenheimer has made me. I'm fumbling on my words here. Like this dude.
we were
is-
wrong about him, Brandon.
This team is like really resilient, and they're like fighting very hard. And I'm like
And Jerry
very
Jones
impressed.
suddenly looks like
Yeah.
a genius when he looked like an idiot with these trades. he
And
made.
I'm impressed. I am. I'm impressed by the Cowboys' effort.
Quinlan Williams saved that season, man.
100%.
He's transformed that
He's got more
defense.
pressures in his 2 weeks with the Cowboys
Yeah,
than
but
he
didn't they
had
just
with his
allow,
entire
like,
time
30
with the Jets
points?
this season.
Yeah,
I think they
Well, I
just
mean, they
allowed
were
30
playing the
points,
Chiefs.
guys.
They were playing the Chiefs.
But
like
like,
he's
the
like he
defense
says, once
still
the Chiefs
isn't
lost
good.
Joe Tooney, they were done.
Schottenheimer's just good.
you guys-
They've been
you
good enough.
You guys got anything
Schottenheimer's
else?
an offensive dude. That offense is fucking swimming. I mean, that dude.
Well,
those
you
guys-
got those two receivers. That's really hard
Yeah.
to stop. And Jake Ferguson leads the league in touchdowns for tight ends.
All right, boys.
That's-
I'm gonna put my daughter to bed.
yeah, we got to get going on this. Well, Sean, what do you got?
Before you get out, so we're all. Well, I'm not saying this, but you guys all say the Bengals go to Buffalo and win next week.
No.
No.
Yeah, I think they can. Yeah.
And they don't win out because they go Buffalo,
yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah, I
If
think
they
their
win
season-
those two, they have a chance to win out.
Yeah, I
Dude,
don't.
I don't know
see
if you
that
would get
happening.
watching Buffalo. I don't know who's been watching Buffalo.
Hey,
Buffalo's
before-
been bad. There are all these.
Hey,
They're
teams
before
not
we
are
get
bad.
out of here, everybody,
All these
don't
good teams are
forget-
bad.
Don't forget this Sunday, Bears celebration.
If he makes the
Green
playoffs,
Bay
yes.
Packers, River Street Tavern, $3.25, $3 tall boys, tons of autographs, tons of
If they make
prizes,
the
tons of
playoffs,
fun.
he will.
Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, we are going to have Zach Pearson, Bears sideline reporter, jump on the show for about 20 minutes and break down this Bears and Packers matchup. We tried to get him on the show today. He couldn't fit it in his schedule, so he's going to join us hopefully Wednesday. He didn't guarantee it, but hopefully Wednesday he will be on the show for about 20, 30 minutes. Break that down. The bare minimum, we'll break down the Bears and Packers from their perspective on Thursday. Don't forget about that. Tune in 11:30 at night. It'll be a blast. If you can't check it out at 11:30, make sure you check it out on your way to work. Bears beat
we
the
have fun.
Packers this Sunday.
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay!
Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Fuck Green Bay! Yes, sir!
Dude, that guy holding
And
the camera
Brandon
is
left.
so weak. That guy holding the camera is so weak, dude.
Until then,
Yeah,
We just got a
sir.
silhouette of Brandon's lonely lampshade there.
Yeah, don't talk about my lampshade, man.
hey,
That's my
until
special lampshade.
until then, boys and girls, we love y'all.
I
Thank
lo-
you
I love
all
lamp.
so very much. Peace and bear
Bear
down,
down,
to your
FGB.
first
Let's do
place
it.
NFC North
Number one in
Conference.
Take the North and never give it back.
That's
Last thing, the most important piece is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Let me look at my notes. Also, we're going to win football games.
peace.